What's up, fight fans? Welcome to the UFC 225 MMA Mania live result stream. My name's Flying Brian J. Thank you so very much for being here. What I'm going to do during this next 3 hours of this stream is try to give you the best play-by-play that I can muster for the pay-per-view portion of this fight card, where the first fight of the night is CM Punk versus Mike the Truth Jackson. Then we've got two title fights on this card. Rafael dos Anjos versus Colby Covington for the interim welterweight championship, and the main event is, of course, Robert Bobby Knuckles Whittaker. He is the middleweight champion. The title is not on the line, though, because Yoel, the Soldier of God Romero, his opponent, did miss weight. If you're joining me right now live, please give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I'll do my best to interact with you while this thing goes down. Right now, we are watching CM Punk do some shadow boxing. Now, a Tuivasa highlight video is happening because we are entering the pay-per-view portion with Face the Pain playing. A lot of people hate this song, but by golly, it does indicate that we are about to get into the pay-per-view portion. So again, thank you so very much for joining me. Consider subscribing. What we just watched was, in the last fight of the prelims, was Curtis Razor Blades knock out Alistair the Ream Overeem with some ground and pound from a couple of vicious elbows that knocked the Ream out, and then 3 more elbows after the Ream was out. In the post-fight interview, Curtis Blades says that he is the next for the title. He wants the title shot against Daniel Cormier or Stipe Miocic, depending on who wins the main event of UFC 226 next month. So, also, the second fight of the pay-per-view portion is Andre Arlovski versus Tuivasa. And then after that, Holly, the preacher's daughter, Holm, will fight Megan Anderson. And as you can see right now, if you subscribe to the channel, Zangief will do a little dance for you. You'll see that right above me there. All right, John Anik is bringing us into the pay-per-view portion. We are in Chicago, Illinois. Actually, I'm in Nebraska, but Ryan J, hashtag Fight Nerds. Boom. Yes. Thanks for joining the Fight Nerds. All right, I've prepared. How's my mic doing? Is it too loud? Is it too loud? I'll bring it down a couple of notches. I know there's going to be a shitload of people that are going to be flowing into this stream that are like, show me the fights, show me the fights. This was supposed to be an illegal stream. That's not what we're doing here. I'm trying to give you the play-by-play and make you feel like you are listening to the pay-per-view portion of UFC 225 or hashtag UFC Chicago on the radio or something like that. So, yes. John Anik. Right now I was talking about the main event, which is Robert Whittaker versus Yoel, the Soldier of God Romero. We will be calling Robert the Reaper. And if you are coming here because you saw the post on MMAmania.com, it says at the bottom there, join me. Perhaps we can even enjoy some craft beer together. I've got some beers ready to go. I've got, this is a homebrewed, it's actually a winter warmer. It's a winter beer, but I wanted to drink it anywho. And then over here, I've got a New England IPA from Samuel L. Adams. Pretty pumped about it. What's up, Chad Cheesemo, Cheeserville, Cheeseton? Man, I like Chad. He's a good guy. He's always here. Thanks for being here, my dude. All right. If you haven't already, thumb the video up. I need the positive thumbs so that we can get more people in here, and that in the future, MMA Mania or Vox Media, SB Nation will allow me to do these, for maybe every pay-per-view. Right now, we just do them for the big ones. Like this one's a big one because there's 2 title fights on it. I'm certain they're going to want me to do one for UFC 226, but I need your positive thumbs. I need the subscribers to go up so that the bosses, the people who make the decisions can tell me to do these in the future, if you're interested in that sort of thing. Right now we're looking at a highlight video of Robert Whittaker. He just head kicked Derek Brunson. Now he's left hooking Brad Tavares, and then getting Brad Tavares to sleep with some ground and pound, looking at him with the belt around his waist. Now we're looking at Yoel, the soldier of God, Romero. He looks like a Greek god. He looks like a statue of himself. He's just knocking out Luke Rockhold. Then he took down Bobby Knuckles. There he get an elbow knockout of Lyoto Machida. Flying knee of Chris, the All-American Weidman. Boom, left hand drops Rockhold, left uppercut puts him to sleep. Ooh, Rob Amen is here to cut the fighters who lose. Rob Amen is known for cutting the losers. He does not like there to be losers in the UFC. You lose 2 fights in a row, and Rob Amen is giving you the axe. Ow, you're out. Now we're looking at 3 bald dudes talking about fights. John Anik, Joe Rogan, Jimmy Smith. We're going to probably have to endure about 10 minutes of hype before we actually see a fight happen. But the first fight of the night is CM Phil Brooks Punk against Mike the Truth Jackson. The underdog bets tonight have not been doing well. I did not make bets on Rashad Coulter versus Chris De La Rocha because they were both minus 105, so it was an even pick 'em. I didn't have a plus money person to bet on. If you don't know already, I put 1 unit on every single underdog this entire year, and we're going to see how it comes out, come December. But Clay Guida, he lost. Sergio Pettis, he did win, so there was a plus 160 underdog that cashed for us. Rashad Evans got knocked out in the first round from a knee to Anthony Lionheart Smith. Ricardo Lamas lost via decision to Mirsad Bektic. Alistair Overeem lost via knockout to Curtis Razorblades, excuse me. Am I the guy from America's Got Talent? I don't even know who you're talking about, my dude. All right. You'll have to remind me sometimes to start the fight clock so you can know where we are in the fight. So I'm going to do the play-by-play up there. We've got the fight clock. So Punk on the main card is an insult to the entire roster. Put him on the Fight Pass event, says Dragon67. I disagree, man. Perhaps his accolades aren't there, like Curtis Blades or Alistair Overeem, Claudia Gadelia, Carla Esparza. But, I mean, he's a celebrity. They're not going to give this guy away for free. I guarantee you that 100,000 of the pay-per-view buys that are going to happen for this fight card were mostly because CM Punk's on the card. I have some friends in real life that they like WWE, professional wrestling. The reason why they're purchasing this pay-per-view is to see CM Punk compete in a real battle of fisticuffs. So, I do understand, though, your point, Dragon, but I just disagree. You're not going to give CM Punk away for free. And also, like, why is he in the UFC? Like, first of all, it's a business. It's a money-making endeavor, so why would we not put him on the pay-per-view? Why would we not put him in the UFC? If he wants to compete, the option was like, we going to give him to Bellator? Hell no, man. Not going to let CM Punk go to Bellator if I'm the UFC. So, here we are. I'm going to open this beer, but I promise to drink slowly tonight. I want to make sure that I give you guys the best possible play-by-play of this action. But let me pour this here. It's called Snow Beast, but I brewed it myself. So there we go. Right now we're watching kind of a sad video for CM Punk. Lost his UFC debut. We're listening to Mike Jackson talk now. So Dragon is arguing me about CM Punk being on the pay-per-view. He could have been on Fight Pass because that would have made people pay money too. The most eyes that they're going to get on him between the pay-per-view portion, and Fight Pass is definitely pay-per-view, because anybody sitting in their recliner at home with a remote control can say, oh, UFC on the pay-per-view, let me hit this here OK button and about the pay-per-view there. They're not going to, like, the average Joe isn't going to know how to find UFC Fight Pass. Joseph Benavidez talked about this in his, he had an interview with John Morgan on the MMA Roadshow like a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week. He said that a lot of his friends were like, what is Fight Pass? How do we watch you? Like, is it free? How do we get Fight Pass? I'm not sure what this is. So, and that's a guy who's a professional fighter who's got title shots in the past, and his buddies don't even know what Fight Pass are, or his family members. So I don't expect CM Punk's family members to understand that either. On the plus side, Mike Jackson is in a group that I'm in, and we don't chat directly, but he chats in the group that I'm in, and he's a really cool guy, really nice guy, and I'm cheering for him to get this victory over CM Punk. Ashley Noland, I'm just doing commentary. I'm going to do my best. I absolutely going to try really hard to give you play-by-play of the pay-per-view portion of UFC 225 so that it feels like you are listening to this fight card on the radio. Mike Jackson's walking out to the octagon right now to a rap song that I remember from my high school days. Flip, from Lil Flip. Game over, Lil Flip. Let me look at what this... Yeah, it's called Game Over by Lil Flip. There we go. Rob Amon says the winner of Stipe vs. DC is likely getting Lesnar next. Lesnar sells tickets. Can I mention Mike Jackson's record? Mike the Truth Jackson is 0-1 in professional mixed martial arts, and he is 0-1 in amateur mixed martial arts, which you probably didn't know. You just know that he's 0-1 in professional, but he's also 0-1 as an amateur. He does have some professional boxing under his belt, but I don't know what his record is there. Let's see if Tapology will tell me. I can't see it. Oh, MMA record. He's actually... Huh. I don't know. His Tapology record's weird. Anyway, yeah, 0-2 basically. Yes, I do think that Brock Lesnar's probably getting a title shot, and I should do a video. I think that Stipe Miocic is going to beat Daniel Cormier. All right, CM Punk's making his way to the octagon. He's walking out to the Cult of Personality. Who's the Cult of Personality? No, it's... Oh yeah, Living Color, Cult of Personality. So he's walking out to. If you didn't know, CM Punk is from Chicago. He's walking to the octagon with flip-flops on. He's giving everybody fives as he makes his way there. He's saying, let's go. He's smiling. He almost tripped over a cord or something. But here he is, CM Punk. He's about to make his second appearance inside of the UFC's octagon. He right now is at the UFC Flying Brian J prep point. He threw his hat into the crowd. He's got a tattoo of a 31 on like behind his ear and a star below it. He took his shirt off. He's got the Pepsi logo on this shoulder. He's got a spider on this elbow, on his right elbow. He's got 4 ace playing cards on his left tricep. He's embracing his coaches. He's got his head on his coach's shoulder right now. His coach is telling him some things. He's nodding his head. He hugs another coach. They're wishing him good luck. He will be fighting out of the red corner. He has the red wrap around his gloves. He's wearing black trunks, and right now he's getting Vaseline put on his face. CM Punk made his professional MMA debut at UFC 203 on September 10th, 2016. It has been 638 days since his last fight. He trains at Rufus Sport in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. With the likes of Anthony Showtime Pettis, Funky Ben Askren, Mike Biggie Rhodes, of course Sergio the Phenom Pettis, who won earlier tonight against Joseph Benavidez. CM Punk is now in the octagon. He's walking to his right. He will be fighting out of the red corner, as I said. He's got kind of a grimace on his face. His hair looks like he just wetted it before he got into the octagon. His body looks, you know, a lot better than it did last time, I think. Looks a little svelte. All right, we're about to see the tail of the tape. Okay, CM Punk is 39 years old. Mike Jackson is 33. Mike Jackson is 1 inch taller than CM Punk at 6'2". CM Punk weighed in at 169 pounds, and Mike Jackson will have a 1 inch reach advantage at 74 inches, and he weighed in at 170.5 pounds. We're sending it down to Bruce Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, for UFC 225, Whittaker versus Romero 2, presented by MMAmania.com. Since 1995, and now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 0 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 170.5 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, Mike the Truth Jackson. Can you discuss the commission cutting short Romero's weight cut? We will definitely do that as we get closer to the main event, Dragon. Thanks for the comments, Dragon. I appreciate that. I like that. Keep them coming, my dude. Now we're introducing CM Punk, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, and CM Punk's flexing. He gives a kiss. He blows it to the entire arena, and the arena is liking it. There are a few people on their feet. A lot of them are clapping. One guy was doing this, like, "Give it to me, baby." You know, like, our referee is Kevin MacDonald. Ariane Celeste with the number. She blew us a kiss. I'm gonna blush. Here we go. CM Punk, his second fight in the octagon. Let's go. It's on. Oh, shit. I forgot to start the clock. This will be close enough. All right, CM Punk fighting out of the orthodox stance. He went for a leg kick. He missed it. CM Punk jabbed a little bit, missed. CM Punk went for a teep. Mike parried it. Mike went for a jab to the chest. Jackson went for a jab to the chest. Jackson with an overhand right connected on the left side of CM Punk. Jackson moved to his right. CM Punk come in to clinch. CM Punk landed a right hand and it backed Jackson up against the fence. CM Punk now has Jackson up against the fence, but Jackson has double underhooks. CM Punk might have hit Jackson with a knee to the groin. Now knee to the thigh, knee to the thigh. We are in the Modelo blue corner, and CM Punk has one overhook on the left and an underhook on the right. He's going to look for a trip takedown. He knees to the thigh of Mike Jackson. He goes for a knee up high, but missed. Mike Jackson's wearing the gray trunks. They are the tight kind variety, the wrestling trunks. Now he reversed position. He put CM Punk with his back to the fence. CM Punk is wearing like Muay Thai type of shorts. CM Punk's pummeling for an underhook. They circle out. Now we're back into the center of the octagon about. We're inside of the double stripes on top of the monster logo. CM Punk landed an outside low kick. Mike Jackson went for a jab to the body but missed. CM Punk is blocking his face pretty well. CM Punk moved forward, double jab on Jackson, and then CM Punk landed an overhand right, like over the top on the left side of Jackson's face. They circle out. We're in the center of the cage. CM Punk moves forward with a couple of jabs, but they were just rangefinders. Jackson landed a right hand to the face of Punk, but Punk moved forward. Now Punk pushed Jackson up against the fence. He kneed the body of Jackson. Punk has a left underhook, and he's going to try to rip the leg away, the left leg with his right hand of Jackson away from the fence. He knees the thigh with his left leg. Right now, CM Punk is pressing Jackson up against the fence. He's got left underhook and a right overhook. Jackson reverse position. Now he is pushing CM Punk against the fence. Jackson hammer fist the thigh again of Punk. Punk, we're in the same position. We're 50-50 underhook, overhook. Punk put Jackson up against the fence, but then Jackson pummeled. Now he has 2 underhooks. He's pushing, as he was pushing Punk against the fence, they were moving away from the fence for a second, and Punk landed a knee to the body. But right now, Jackson has CM Punk pressed against the fence, and CM Punk goes in for a takedown. He's in deep on a blast double leg, and he missed it. But he did push Jackson up against the fence on the opposite side of the cage from where he started this takedown attempt. Now CM Punk is in on a single leg. He's going to look to elevate and drag Jackson to the ground. No dice. Jackson gets his leg back to the ground. Punk breaks his grip, and now on the left side, CM Punk is controlling the wrist of Jackson. Jackson shook that off, went for an underhook and reverse position. He's pressing CM Punk against the fence. Jackson with double underhooks. Now he let go of the underhooks. He backed out a little bit. We're on the edge of the double stripes in a neutral corner, and Jackson just landed a right straight and a jab combination. Both of them landed, but Punk unaffected by them. Punk went for a low kick, missed it, and spun around. It's a competitive bout so far. Takedown defense, Jackson is 4 of 4, so he's 100% with his takedown defense so far. CM Punk went in for a diving in takedown again, and Jackson met him with an underhook and pressed him up against the fence in the blue corner underneath of a Toyo Tires logo. Jackson backed out. Now that we are straddling the double stripe on the edge of the inside of the cage. Punk is bloody on his nose, but he landed a right straight on Jackson. Jackson went for like a plum, just reverse position, and Jackson took the center of the octagon. He pressed. Oh, CM Punk got a takedown, and he's in open space. Punk got a takedown. He's now in half guard. He moved over the right leg of Mike Jackson, and now CM Punk in the half guard. Let's see what he does here. Jackson is looking to sit up. Punk hit him with an elbow to the side of the head. Jackson gets back to his feet. Punk was looking for a whizzer to get him back down, but Jackson got back to his feet. He ripped a 1-2 combination of hooks to the body. He is pressing CM Punk up against the fence in the Modelo corner next to that Toyo Tires logo. The referee's looking on because the round is about to end, and the round is over. How would we score the round? I don't have any idea. Oh, my clock didn't work out well, did it? Well, I don't know how to score the first round. I'm going to go, I don't know, I'm feeling nice. Going CM Punk gets that first round. Fight clock. I'll need to look at that. Okay, thank you all for being here in between rounds. Punk's corner is telling him not to worry about the kick so much, worry about his hands. Jackson probably won the first round. Nice takedown, duck under double leg for CM Punk toward the end of the round there. 10-9 Jackson says Chad Cheeseman. He's probably right, but I'm putting CM Punk up there anywho. All right, I'm just going to give it to Punk. And we're into round number 2. Here we go. Okay, we meet in the center of the octagon. They reverse position from where they started their corner. Oops, I need to put this. The crowd is chanting CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. Phil Brooks, CM Punk went in for a takedown again, another blast one. He missed it, but he has Jackson pressed up against the fence right in front of a corner that has a body armor sports drink on it. Jackson reverses position. He is now pressing CM Punk up against the fence. He backs out. CM Punk's nose is bloody. As Punk landed a stepping in jab, but here comes Jackson. He's winding up with his hands. He missed with a 1-2 right over the top of Punk's head. Punk is winging wildly. He might have landed a wide right on the face of Jackson. Punk landed a jab, but then a right hand over the top from Jackson came and landed on Punk. Punk might be hurt a little bit. Jackson goes in for a body lock, and it looks, I don't know what the hell CM Punk's doing, maybe trying for a guillotine. He's hanging on to the front of Jackson, but for a brief second there, it looked like Punk might be ready to give up when he ate a right hand to the face. Right now, Punk basically pulled guard, looking for a guillotine. Nope, doesn't have it. Mike Jackson is in top guard, full guard of CM Punk, and Punk's back is on the canvas, right on top of a Metro PCS knockout logo. Okay. Right hand to the body landed for Jackson. Jackson briefly looked at his corner to see what's happening. What's happening? What's up, guys? Guys, what should I do? Punk's trying to control the posture of Jackson. Jackson's not doing a lot here. He sits all the way up in the guard of Brooks, of CM Punk. He's looking at his corner. He's not doing much. He's not even looking at CM Punk, and he's just kind of landing a couple of things to the body. Now he's doing this with his hand, kind of like he's riding a bull or something. Boom, right hand landed on the face of Punk. Another, like a hammer fist landed on the face of Punk. A couple of hammer fists land on the face of Punk again. Left hand landed on Punk's face from Jackson. Punk's looking to control. He's controlling the right wrist of Jackson. He's looking for a triangle off of his back now. Not even close, but nice attempt. CM Punk. Body from Jackson on Punk. CM Punk's corner is calling for him to throw up the triangle. Jackson's doing. He's looking into the distance. He landed a left hand, a right to the body, a left hand to the face, right to the body. He's not even looking at CM Punk. He's looking at his corner or something. He continues to do that. He's got his hand over the mouth, his left hand over the mouth of CM Punk. CM Punk was throwing up a triangle again. No dice. They're both really sweaty. Mike Jackson looks really, really calm. He, in like three-quarter guard of Punk. Punk's going to need to look to press Jackson off of him and get back to his feet. Punk does not look very... He looks like a fish out of water on the ground, basically. Same thing happening. Jackson's doing this, hits him in the face. Over here, hits him to the body. He's doing it again. He's, boom, right to the face. Hammer fist, hammer fist. We're in the same position. We are basically on top of the double stripe. CM Punk's head is on top of the monster logo in the center of the octagon. Punk tried for a sit-up, a reversal sweep. Couldn't do it. White belt 101 stuff, Joe Rogan says. I learned that at a jiu-jitsu class once myself. Mike Jackson is postured completely up. He's raining down some ground and pound on CM Punk. He just had a left hand came through on Punk. Right elbow over the top on Punk. Punk's face is pretty bloody, and Jackson continues to look extremely, extremely loose and calm. Punk needs to push off and get back to his feet. I mean, the same thing. We're sliding more and more toward the center of the octagon as Phil Brooks, CM Punk, does some goofy stuff with his legs, looking for a triangle again. But Mike Jackson is content to just stay in his guard and pepper him with a little bit of ground and pound. End of the round, clearly. I mean, I can't even fudge that CM Punk won that round. So yeah, Jackson round 2. Almost the entire round is on the ground. Dylan, not all of it. Punk was not blocking shots. He was not. Punk's nose looks a little bit broken. Maybe he looks like he wants to cry. Both of his eyes are shut in the corner between rounds. They're putting some end swell on his cheek. They got the cotton swab up his nose to try to help with the bloody nose here. Mike Jackson's corner is saying that he can do damage whenever he wants. This corner says that CM Punk is going to try to take him down hard, man. Keep piecing him up. Do not stand in front of him. Keep piecing him up. Mike Jackson's mouth guard is back in. Don't let me forget to start the clock, my dudes. Yeah, my scoring system up here doesn't have the ability to give a 10-8. That was a 10-8 round for Phil Brooks. No, shit. That was a 10-8 round for Mike Jackson. Here we go. Round 2. Or round 3. Start. I'm all over the place. Okay. CM Punk steps forward. He's winging wildly. Jackson is evading him pretty well. Here comes Jackson. CM Punk tried for a takedown. He missed it. He's got an underhook on the right side. He had an overhook on the left side. Jackson is pummeling for the underhook on CM Punk's left side. Now we're at a 50-50 overhook, underhook between these two guys. Jackson pushes Punk against the fence. Jackson is putting his hand over Punk's mouth briefly. Punk tried to swim underneath for double underhooks, maybe go for a takedown. No dice. Now Mike Jackson is pushing CM Punk up against the fence in front of that Modelo logo by the blue corner. CM Punk takes a second to fix his hair a little bit, get it out of his eyes. He's pressing forward as CM Punk goes in for another takedown attempt. Jackson gets double underhooks, presses CM Punk up against the fence, and he's going to pepper Punk with some knees to the thigh, backs away, takes a look at him. He hit Punk with a right hand. Punk did a long running thing. Punk goes in for another takedown. He's trying real hard. He's in deep with it. Left hook from Jackson when he defended the takedown. Punk was trying to back away from the takedown attempt, and Jackson hit him with a left uppercut to the face. And now Jackson was briefly on top of Punk for a second, was thinking about going in his full guard. He stepped back and he told Punk to step up. Punk took a long time to get to his feet. He's got a big goose underneath of his right eye. Left hook landed for Punk, but he steps in to try to do more, and a jab landed for Jackson. Then another jab landed for Jackson. Another jab landed for Jackson. A one with the two over the top landed for Jackson on Punk. Punk came in with the combination of his own, did not do well with it. He's on a plum clinch. He went for a jumping knee, did not get it. He pushed Jackson up against the fence underneath the thing that says gruntstyle.com, and Punk is looking for a double leg takedown. Jackson is pushing the back of his head down so as to avoid the takedown. Punk is trying really hard on this. I can only see he's got his right hand wrapped below the butt of Jackson. He has his left arm is being underhooked by Jackson to keep Punk upright, and Jackson uses that to reverse the position, press Punk up against the fence, backed away again. Punk looks rather dejected, and a right hand over the top landed for Jackson. Punk in on another takedown attempt. Jackson shucked it off. We're in the center of the octagon. Uppercut there in the clinch. Uppercut landed for Jackson, and a right over the top landed for Jackson on Punk. A couple of elbows up against the fence landed for Jackson. Punk is looking desperately to clinch up with Jackson because when there's any space, he's just getting whipped by Mike the Truth Jackson. Jackson pushes Punk up against the fence. He took his back. He's now got back control on CM Punk up against the fence, peppering the right side of Punk's face with some right hands. Punk dove under looking for maybe a leg lock attempt, unsuccessful, and now Mike Jackson is in half guard on top of CM Punk. CM Punk's giving up his back here if Jackson wants to take advantage of it, and he looks like he might. He's in like a leg ride position, like a referee's position in wrestling, and he's peppering Punk's face with some right hands up against the fence here in the leg ride kind of referee's position, hitting him with the right hands. Underneath the armpit, two of them landed on Punk's face from Jackson. CM Punk rolled over, and now Jackson is kind of in three-quarter guard. He's fully postured up on his knees, and Punk is trying to hit Jackson with some left hands from the bottom. No dice. Jackson decided to go away from the fully postured, and now he's in side control on Punk's right side. Punk gave up his back again. We're kind of in a north-south with Jackson's chest on the shoulder blades of CM Punk. Jackson briefly looked at the referee. I don't know what he's thinking is going on here. He's hitting Punk to the body. Body. Joe Rogan is saying that Jackson should just let the fight go to the feet because he has a good chance of finishing the fight there. So we're kind of in a north-south type of deal with both guys on their hands and knees, with basically Punk's head was between Jackson's legs. Punk went for a takedown attempt. Now Punk is on top as the fight ends, but that will be a decision victory for Mike Jackson. There we go. Yeah, clearly Jackson, third round. Clearly as day. Well, at least John Anik is saying hopefully that 15 minutes will help scratch the itch for CM Punk wanting to, truly be a professional fighter. And maybe that was a moral victory. The first time he was in the octagon, he had absolutely no success whatsoever. He got taken down on his first striking attempt and got submitted by Mickey Gall. So he was in there for the full 15 minutes this time. Maybe it's a moral victory for him. I'm interested to hear the post-fight interview. Once again, CM Punk is up against the fence. He's getting some end swell put on his the right cheek underneath of his right eye. He's got his mouth kind of open. He's bloody and he's a little beaten. And Mike Jackson looks calm. He's unaffected. I know I should take this back. I gotta take something back. Yeah. So truly a 30-27 victory for Mike the Truth Jackson. But if a judge at all gives that for, gives a round for CM Punk, he can say as a professional fighter in the UFC, he won a fucking round, I guess. Mike Jackson says that Mike Jackson has a cell phone in his hand, and he told Joe Rogan that he wants to do something during the post-fight interview or something. So here we go. The official decision. CM Punk does this. He has his hand raised. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges for scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score the contest 30-27, well, 30-26 for the winner by unanimous decision, Mike the Truth Jackson. I think he took a selfie with his phone when he was getting his hand raised by the referee. Joe Rogan is with Mike Jackson. The first guy to ever take a selfie while getting his hand raised. Joe Rogan tells CM Punk he's going to talk to him too. Mike, first of all, congratulations on your first UFC victory. What was it like leading up to this fight? The press, all the craziness that was attached to this. What does it mean to you to win? First and foremost, he says, I think he thinks his family. He said his preparation was amazing. He says the media, that's my thing, that's what I do. I'm a journalist as well, so I know what it takes to get into all that. It was cool, I dig it. You looked very calm. This is Joe Rogan. You looked very calm, relaxing there. Even when you were kind of in trouble, you showed no urgency. Or when you had Punk in urgency, trouble, you had no urgency. And he said, Jackson says, unfortunately, Illinois doesn't allow the marijuana, so he wasn't as cool and calm as he wanted to be. Mike Jackson says, for all those haters that prayed for his downfall, you should have prayed harder because your God wasn't listening. And he asked for another fight in the UFC, and if not, he asked for a boxing match under the Zuffa boxing banner. Joe Rogan said we were going to talk to CM Punk, but Punk just left the octagon, and I guess we're not going to talk to him. Well, that sucks. Okay, let me go to all 3, 30-26, yeah. Okay, let's get rid of these. Now, if I do give a legitimate terrible score on a fight card or on a fight tonight, guys, you got to understand it's very tough for me to score while I'm talking. Because it's not just I don't have a co-host to spit off of, and I'm just really trying to give you the best play-by-play that I can really muster up. So, if you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, which would mean so very much to me, and also share it. Share it everywhere that you can. All right, so the next fight that we are going to watch, for some reason we're watching a Ronda Rousey hype video. I think that we're just looking at a UFC original show to talk about Ronda Rousey. I don't know why we're doing that. Okay, well, let's get ready for the next fight, which is Andre Pitbull Arlovski versus Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa. I believe that Tuivasa is like a minus 200 favorite with the comeback on Andre Arlovski at plus 215. Let's go over the tail of the tape now, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. Okay. I don't have the ages in front of me. Well, we'll go over that when they actually show it. Arlovski is 1 inch taller. He's 25 less pounds as Tuivasa. They have him listed as 265 pounds and Arlovski 240. Arlovski has a 2-inch reach advantage with his arms and a 5-inch reach advantage with his legs. Tuivasa in his 2 UFC bouts has landed 8.72 strikes per minute with 68.97% accuracy and has only absorbed 1.89 strikes per minute. Wow. Tuivasa has defended 100% of the takedowns thrown his way. And Arlovski, of course, is a veteran of the sport. He has competed in mixed martial arts professionally a total of 43 times, 27 wins, 17 by knockout, 3 by submission, 7 via decision. He has 15 losses, 10 of them via knockout, 1 submission, and 4 decisions. Chilled Samadillo. Mike Jackson defeated CM Punk 30-26 times 3. It was another really, really dominant performance from Mike Jackson. And then afterward, Mike Jackson asked for another opportunity to fight in the UFC. I gotta send another tweet out because I think that more people probably want to see this. Okay. Thank you for being here, Ultramarine 52. Yeah, I really gotta send this link out. We're still watching a Ronda Rousey hype video. I get it. Okay. I've been talking too much, so what this is for is Ronda Rousey is the first woman to be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. That's what's going on here. Okay. Makes sense. Sorry for the dead space, my dudes. I gotta send this tweet out. Okay. Did Romero fight yet? No. Where is it? Over there. Over there, that picture, that image, is the next fight up. The next fight up is Andre Arlovski versus Bam Bam Tuivasa. After that, we've got Holly the Preacher's Daughter Holm versus Megan Anderson. After that, we've got Rafael dos Anjos versus Colby Covington for the interim welterweight championship of the world. And then we've got Robert the Reaper Whittaker versus Yoel the Soldier of God Romero in the main event of the evening. So we have only watched the first fight on the pay-per-view portion. Next up is a heavyweight tilt between a legend in the heavyweight division and an up-and-comer who's only 25 years old. Tuivasa has never been out of the first round. All of his victories are via KO or TKO. He's a really exciting fighter. After his last victory over Rashad Coulter, he did a fucking shoey with somebody in the crowd. So that was pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, the hype video for Ronda is because she's the first woman inductee into the UFC Hall of Fame. All right, yeah. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thumb the video up. I know that it gets old that I say that, but I need it to happen. I really do, guys. I've got my subscriber goal up here. It's about right there-ish, if I could actually touch it. And yeah, I think that what we're going to see in this fight is an early knockout. I don't think Tuivasa makes it out of the first round once again. So, like, what is Tuivasa's record? I said it already, didn't I? 9-0. All 9 of those victories are first-round finishes. I think he makes it 10 for 10. Does not leave the first round once again, and it'll be a knockout victory over a G-Dang legend. The Hall of Fame ceremony for Ronda Rousey will be on July 5th. It's a Thursday in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Pearl at the Palm Casino Resort. Tickets go on sale June 15th. It's a Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time on Ticketmaster.com. All proceeds will benefit 3 Square Food Bank. Reyes Mira asks, are we here to watch the fights or just for me to talk? My goal is to just give the best play-by-play that I can muster so that perhaps you can feel like you're listening to the fights on the radio. That's my goal. If that's not your thing, please don't thumb the video down, and I wish you luck on, you know, your further searches for watching this fight card. But just know I'm doing my best here, and I have spent my $65 so that I can tell you guys what's going on with the fight card, and I think that does not deserve hate or thumbs down. So there's that. And also, please do not share alternate ways to watch this fight card in the comment section. That does not look good on me. Please don't do that. Right now we're watching Yoel Romero walk into the arena. I gotta send out a quick text. Okay. Also, please, no racism or bigotry, discrimination type of comments in the comment section. There's a no tolerance policy. You'll get banned if you do any of that shit. Like, one strike, you're out. This ain't baseball. Copyright. Why can I not show the fights? Why can I not even play the audio for the fights? Because this YouTube channel will get shut down. The UFC is very strict with their copyright laws, and yeah, it's illegal to take somebody else's content and just present it as your own. So if we were to stream the fights on this channel, it'd be presenting it as our own, and it's not our own. That would be a copyright infringement. They would probably sue MMA Mania, SB Nation, Vox. They would shut this YouTube channel down, and I would get fired. I know Dylan Andrajic, I said this isn't baseball. Only one strike and you're out here. In baseball, 3 strikes you're out. So 1 strike you're out here. Is the RDA fight after the Whittaker fight? No, RDA fights Colby Covington in the co-main event, so that's right before Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero. We're listening right now to Tuivasa kind of say that both him and Arlovski are here to prove something. Arlovski's here to prove that he's, you know, still one of the greats. He's still around, and Tuivasa says he's here to prove that he's the next dude. Here we go. Whoops. Sorry about that. Two guys had it on the background, the TV on in the background, and they got shut down. Yes. There's also a guy who tried to pretend like he was playing EA UFC. You can get in some big... I can't tell what Tuivasa's walking out to, but it sounds like... No, it is. Tai Tuivasa is walking out to Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. And it's now I know you go on. Near, far, wherever you are. I'm sorry. Probably like 1,700 people just clicked out because of my terrible, terrible singing. But how crazy. Tai Tuivasa is walking out to Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. I personally am a huge fan. I think, way to go, Tuivasa. I love it a lot. This is glorious. He's singing with it as he goes. He's got his arms in the air. He's asking the crowd to sing it with him. He had some, like a anal bead necklace. That's probably disrespectful to his culture. He had a big ass necklace with a bunch of big balls on it that he took off, gave to his corner man. He walked up to the MMA Mania Flying Brian J prep point with a little, like a goofy little shake. He went up and gave a knuckles to the guy that's about to put Vaseline on his face. He chest bump, like it's a bro hug with all of his corner members. Now he's back in the prep point. He's still singing. Vaseline's getting on his face. Okay, Tai Tuivasa, undefeated, finished all 9 wins via first-round knockout. One of 2 flying knee knockouts in the UFC heavyweight history. Wow, that's pretty crazy. And he almost had one in his second appearance. He actually hit Rashad Coulter with a flying knee as well. It's very interesting how well this guy moves because he's very, like, he looks soft, but he hits hard as fuck. Yeah, his indigenous culture was where the necklace is from. So I apologize for calling it an anal bead thing, but look, that's what it looked like, kind of. Show. And now Andrei Arlovski's walking out to the Johnny Cash song that's "Come On for a Long Time." Come on for a long time. Was it Run On for a Long Time? Yeah, Run On for a Long Time. Isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, Andrei Arlovski put his mouthpiece in. He bro hugged Mike Brown. He's bro hugging his other corner member. Took his shirt off, handed it to a corner member who has a glorious mullet. Hits himself in the face a couple of times. He steps into the Flying Brian J prep point. A different guy is putting Vaseline on Andrei Arlovski. Andrei Arlovski is the former UFC heavyweight champion of the world. He has the second most wins in the UFC heavyweight division's history with 16 and the second most finishes in UFC heavyweight history at 11. They're checking his fingernails. He doesn't have them too long. They're checking him for weapons. He's got he's got a cup on. He's got his mouthpiece in, and he's on his way into the octagon. He's got a little bit of salt on his beard, right in this area, in his goatee area. He's got a little bit of gray hair. He's got hair on his chest. He's wearing black, like wrestling trunks, the tight ones, but they're kind of long, not like tidy whitey style. His beard looks really on point. Must have got that baby done right before stepping into the octagon. Here we go. The tale of the tape is brought to you by MMAmania.com. Andrei Arlovski is 39 years old. Tai Tuivasa is 25. Arlovski is 1 inch taller. He weighed in at 249. Tuivasa at 261. Andrei Arlovski will have a 2-inch reach advantage when his reach is 77 inches. Now we're bringing it into Bruce Buffer. He's wearing a blue tuxedo with a black bow tie. He's got a blue pocket square kind of thing. He's introducing Tuivasa, who's listed as a street fighter, holding an unprofessional record with 9 wins, 0 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 261 pounds. Fighting out of Western Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, he is the minus 240 favorite. Tai Bam Bam Tuivasa. Jason Duranda. What's up, Jason Duranda? If you curse, like, if you guys didn't notice, if you curse, your comment gets blocked. It won't show up in the chat. presenting the former UFC heavyweight champion, Arlovski. He gives knuckles to Bruce Buffer. Our referee in charge, Rob Madrigal, our referee. Brittany Palmer, our ring girl, blew us a double kiss. I believe that was Brittany Palmer. I don't know. Okay, you ready? Oh, almost forgot the clock. And here we go. Round one. Let's get it. We are in the center of the octagon. Tai Tuivasa has short shorts on. They're green. They have tiny slits in the bottom. He's in an orthodox stance. So is Arlovski, who's in the red corner. Got the red tape around his gloves. A right hand over the top from Tuivasa missed. And he came with a left hook behind it that landed on Arlovski, but Arlovski took it well. We're in the very center of the cage. They're bouncing around, and you can see the ring kind of shaking a little bit. A knee to the body from Tuivasa landed as a right hand landed from Arlovski. Right low kick landed from Arlovski. Tuivasa just ducked under a big overhand right from Arlovski and then looked for his own right that might have landed. I couldn't tell if it was blocked, but it was definitely partially blocked. Tuivasa landed a right low kick. Arlovski went for another overhand right that Tuivasa ducked under again. Tuivasa just pretended like he was going to throw a lead left hook, but didn't do it. They're not close enough for him to land that right now. Arlovski did like a switch step, move forward, then move backward again. Arlovski went for a right straight to the body, didn't have the range on it. Inside low kick landed for Arlovski. Tuivasa rebutted with his own inside low kick. Tuivasa's moving forward. Arlovski is moving back into his left. Arlovski came in with a stepping in jab that might have landed on Tuivasa. It looks like Tuivasa might have a bloody nose from that. I can't tell. I don't have high enough resolution. Tuivasa can't come in, got double underhooks on Arlovski. Arlovski tripped as he was backing away with the double underhooks, and Tuivasa is now in full mount. Arlovski has double overhooks, obviously, because Tuivasa has the underhooks, and he's trying to hold position, so he's holding Tuivasa on top of him, so Tuivasa cannot posture up from this position. But Tuivasa is in a very opportunistic position. He's got Arlovski in the full mount. We're on the double stripe on the edge of the middle of the octagon. They're not doing anything right now. Tuivasa is just kind of pressing his head into the jaw of Arlovski. Tuivasa he's looking to press him away with his head so he can get his arms out from the double overhooks of Arlovski. Perhaps Arlovski's looking for a stand-up. He is. He just got eye contact with the referee. Tuivasa is bleeding out of his nose. It's all over the neck of Arlovski right now. But Arlovski's just holding this position. I don't know what the referee's doing. I mean, like, this is a successful, like, stand-up. Like, it's causing a stand-up right now from Arlovski. I mean, it's not often that the referee's going to stand up a fight when somebody's in the full mount, but these guys haven't done anything for, like, what feels like 30 seconds. Tuivasa's, like, doing this with his hands. Like, what needs to happen here? Arlovski kind of threw Tuivasa off of him. Now we're standing back up in the center of the octagon. It looks like Arlovski's wearing a big ol' beard. Oh! A left hand dropped Arlovski. Arlovski came in with a left hand of his own, and a left hook from Tuivasa dropped Arlovski on his butt. Tuivasa let him come back to his feet. Arlovski's got double underhooks. He's looking for a trip takedown on Tuivasa, but Tuivasa was able to get his back to the fence. He's in his own corner. Tuivasa's got his back to his own corner. Or no, we're in the blue corner, right? We're in the Toyo Tires blue corner. Arlovski is pressing Tuivasa up against the fence. Arlovski landed a knee to the body. They separate. We're back into the center of the octagon. Jab misses from Arlovski. We're just kind of standing here. Tuivasa came in with a right over the top. Arlovski blocked it. Arlovski's pressing forward again. They're moving toward the center of the cage. Arlovski went for he was going to do a kick, decided to bail on the kick, just kind of spun around. Moved back to the fence. Tuivasa landed a right on Arlovski, pressed him against the fence, but he bounced off of it, got an underhook with his left hand underneath Tuivasa, turned position, and then pressed Tuivasa up against the fence. So right now, Arlovski has Tuivasa's back up against the fence. He went for a right elbow over the top that Tuivasa just ate, moved forward. Arlovski's saying that Tuivasa got him with an eye poke. Tuivasa ripped a couple to the body, then goes for a high knee. Lead left landed for Tuivasa, and a right hand behind it landed on the chin of Arlovski from Tuivasa. Tuivasa's got some confidence now. He's moving forward. Went for an overhand elbow on the right, then a high kick, missed it. Tuivasa lost his footing, fell down. Arlovski pressed him, but just kind of gave up. Arlovski gave up pursuing him. We're in the center of the cage here. Arlovski went for a high kick, missed it. Went for a wide right that landed on the arm of Tuivasa. And that's the round. Tight round. Tight round. Well, on the strength of a knockdown from Tuivasa, he's going to get the score. Tuivasa, round 1, on the strength of that knockdown. Rob Amon says Tuivasa looks gassed. Ultramarine 52 says boom, son. Tuivasa's corner says every time that he hits Arlovski, Arlovski is ducking in to try to get the clinch. Tuivasa's corner is saying big breaths, Ty, big breaths. They agree with Rob Amon a little bit. Brooklyn, our ring girl now, she blew a kiss. All right, so we made it past the first round. This is the first time in Tuivasa's career that he's ever been to the second round. I got to start the clock. Here we go. They meet in the center of the octagon. Arlovski doubles up on the jab as he moves forward. Okay, we're in the center of the octagon. Tuivasa's reaching out to find with his backhand, his power hand, to touch the lead hand of Arlovski. So my guess is he's going to try to get that down and then come in with a left hook, but I don't know. Arlovski goes for a left kick to the body, landed. Left inside low kick, partially checked by Tuivasa. Tuivasa was going to go with an outside low kick. Arlovski moved back, and then Tuivasa bailed on the low kick attempt. Arlovski went for a left high kick. Tuivasa ducked under, went off the shoulder of Tuivasa. No dice. Tuivasa's got his hands kind of right below his nipples. He's shuffling forward. He might have landed a right hand there on Arlovski. Arlovski landed an overhand right on Tuivasa. Tuivasa smiled, acknowledged it, but he's fine. He's moving forward again. Outside low kick on the right side landed for Arlovski. Tuivasa's walking Arlovski down. Arlovski's on the outside of the double stripe. Arlovski landed a stepping in left jab. Twice in a row. He landed the left and then came with the right behind it 2 times in a row. But Tuivasa ate it like a lunch pail sandwich and then just keeps moving forward. Arlovski comes with a jab, too short on it. Tuivasa comes in with a jab to the body, no dice. Tuivasa's really bleeding. He's got a cut on the bridge of his nose, and he's also bleeding out of his nose as well. He comes forward. He kind of looked like he was going to go for a double leg takedown on Arlovski. Did not even really try it. Now he's got double underhooks, I believe, up against the fence in the red corner. Yep, double underhooks. Tuivasa is pressing the back of Arlovski up against the fence in the red corner. Tuivasa is getting his head underneath the chin of Arlovski. Arlovski came, got the plum, pulled him away, circled off to his left, met in the center of the octagon. A couple of right hands land on the head of Tuivasa from Arlovski. Right now the momentum is on Arlovski's side. Arlovski goes for a left high kick, missed. It was partially blocked, but a stepping in left jab that landed again on the head of Tuivasa. Tuivasa's got a hell of a chin on him. Ooh, fuck. Tuivasa's face is really, really bloody. Overhand right missed for Arlovski. Uppercut landed for Tuivasa, and then a wide right behind it on the chin of Arlovski landed. Arlovski ate it really well. Outside low kick checked. Arlovski checked outside low kick attempt of Tuivasa. Arlovski came with an overhand right that went over the top of Tuivasa's head. Arlovski attempted a spinning back fist with his right fist. Tuivasa was able to back away from that attempt. Now we are close to the center of the cage. Tuivasa came forward with a flurry, lead left hook, right hand behind it, but Arlovski blocked most of it. Now, Tuivasa briefly had Arlovski up against the fence. He tried a little bit of a combination. Arlovski avoided it. Arlovski's got double underhooks, and now he's pressing Tuivasa up against the fence. And let's see what he does from here. Total strikes landed, 32 for Arlovski, 33 for Tuivasa. So very, very tight. Arlovski went for a double underhook trip takedown on Tuivasa, and he did get Tuivasa to the ground, but he didn't follow him to the ground, and Tuivasa got right back to his feet. Tuivasa might have eye-poked Arlovski. He acknowledged it, and the guys give each other a 5. Arlovski says that again. Arlovski calls timeout. The referee's calling timeout because Tuivasa poked Arlovski in the eye again. So the third time that Arlovski has said that Tuivasa poked him in the eye. The first time the referee paused the action. Yes, as Arlovski came with the right hand, Tuivasa like raked across the face of Arlovski with his left hand. Play it back again, Joe Rogan says. He wants to see the replay for this eye poke. There's a dot. Okay, so yeah. So as Arlovski tried a right hand, Tuivasa like palmed him in the face, and as he palmed him in the face, he wiped his fingers like kind of on the right eye of Arlovski. The referee is giving Tuivasa a warning, and we're back into the action. Okay, we're in the center of the octagon. Tuivasa in the orthodox stance, same as Arlovski. Arlovski landed a stepping in right hand, and Tuivasa countered with a left hook of his own. Neither one of them got wobbled from it. We're in the center of the octagon. Tuivasa's pressing forward. He's got his lead hand out there, kind of range finding, seeing what he's doing. Arlovski landed an inside low kick. Briefly, for a second here, Arlovski switching to a southpaw stance. Interesting. Arlovski's in a southpaw stance right now. He switches back as he backs away. Arlovski is in the southpaw stance. He tried a spinning back fist. Tuivasa ducked under it. Tuivasa tried to counter. No dice. Arlovski tried with the 1-2 as the bell rang, and Tuivasa just leaned away from it. No dice. Clearly that was a round for Andre the Pitbull Arlovski, and we've got it 1-1 as we head to the third round. So Tuivasa, he went to the second round for the first time in his career, and now he's going to make it to the third round for the first time in his career, both in the same fight. I think we're tied anyway. Okay. Rob Amon says he would take a point. Well, I know he did it 3 times, but it's the first time that the referee, gave a warning. I think it's tied going into the third. I don't know if everyone agrees with me. Let's look. All right, here we go. Third and final round. They briefly hug. They circle off. So Luke Thomas on Twitter has it all tied up. And Bloody Elbow, Zane Simon, I believe it's Zane Simon, has it 2-0 Tuivasa. I'm comfortable with my tied score here. Arlovski came in with a winding up right hand. Tuivasa ducked under it. Inside low kick landed for Arlovski. Okay, we're in the center of the octagon. Arlovski feinted the right low kick, came up top with the left kick, but Tuivasa blocked it, and then he came back downstairs with the low kick on the right side. Partially checked from Tuivasa. Tuivasa is still bleeding from the bridge of his nose and also from his nose. Tuivasa came in with a rear hand uppercut attempt. the angle that happened, I couldn't see if it landed for him. Left jab to the body, landed for Tuivasa, and Arlovski came in with a stepping in right that landed on Tuivasa. Tuivasa ate it pretty well. Arlovski now is in the orthodox stance. He's on the outside of the double stripes. Tuivasa's on the inside of the double stripes. Tuivasa came in with an attack. Arlovski was trying to counter with a right, and it went over the top of Tuivasa. Tuivasa ducked under it. Arlovski landed an outside low kick. Tuivasa came in with a jab to the body. He ate a jab to the face as he was stepping in for that. Tuivasa did it like a gator roll to come inside with an overhand right that didn't land. He hit an uppercut on Arlovski, but Arlovski ate it well. Arlovski with a right straight to the body, landed. They briefly tied up. Tuivasa pushed him away. Tuivasa is the one controlling the center of the octagon right now. Tuivasa with a stepping in right elbow. I think it landed. Arlovski's face is now showing some wear on it. More noticeable than it was for me a bit ago. Okay, Tuivasa is the one pressing forward. Arlovski's on the outside of the double stripes. Arlovski has his back to the red corner. It looks like. Joe Rogan is saying right now that Andre is getting the better of the exchanges, and that is absolutely true. We have crossed the midpoint of the third and final round, says John Anik. Arlovski goes for a right high kick, missed it, spun around. He's facing Tuivasa again. Tuivasa is marching him down. Left hook to the body, landed for Tuivasa. Went for a right one, and Arlovski defended it with his left arm. Tuivasa pressing forward, missed with a lead left hook. Arlovski briefly was going to take action and push forward. Tuivasa came in with an attempt. Arlovski got double underhooks for a second there and landed a knee to the body. They exchanged some big punches. A big right hand landed for Tuivasa, and Arlovski backed away from it. Arlovski seems to be fine, though. A left hand behind a right hand landed for Tuivasa. Overhand right elbow landed for Tuivasa. Briefly stunned Arlovski. He lost his legs a little bit. Arlovski's backing away. Arlovski's in the center of the cage. Left hook right over the top landed on the head of Arlovski from Tuivasa. Momentum on the side of Tuivasa right now. He's pressing forward. He's got a bloody face, and he's looking to get the finish here on Arlovski. He's pressing forward. He was going to go with an overhand right, but he met a jab of Arlovski. Okay, here we go. Pressing forward. Arlovski with a 1-2 combination to the forearms, blocked by Tuivasa. Right hand landed on the side of the head from Arlovski on Tuivasa's head. Now we're in the center of the cage here. The momentum has seemed to not really be on Tuivasa's side right here. Could be even with the momentum. Tuivasa came in. He was going to go with a strike attempt. He met a jab from Arlovski. The jabs from Arlovski have been really good in this fight because he is the longer, rangier guy. He seems to be the more mobile person. Arlovski tried the spinning right back fist again. Missed it. Joe Rogan reacted, though. Center of the cage. Center of the octagon. Outside low kicks lands for Arlovski. Tuivasa landed his own outside right low kick on Arlovski. Arlovski takes a brief check of the clock. Tuivasa's stepping forward. Arlovski jabbed again, landed on Tuivasa, but he missed with the right from behind it. Arlovski senses that he might be ahead on the scorecards or something. He did a 1-2, landed for Tuivasa, and Arlovski backed away from it. Arlovski was a little bit on his bicycle here. Oh, Arlovski backing away. He put his fingers in the air like he thinks he won the fight, but he's taking a lot of damage here down the stretch. He's just walking away. He's got his finger in the air, and he thinks that he won the fight. Arlovski thinks that he won the fight. Ooh, they go the distance. I don't know how exactly to score that third round. That was a tight one. That was a really tight round. I know there were times when Arlovski was clearly winning. There was times when Tuivasa was clearly winning that round. A tightly contested battle. The jab from Arlovski for me was a lot of this story. The left hook, they're showing replay now. The left hook from Tuivasa landed in the first round that dropped Arlovski. Then in the third round, the right elbow over the top from Tuivasa hurt Arlovski. Then the 1-2 with the 2 coming over the top of the shoulder from Arlovski landed on the side of his head really hurt Arlovski as well. Man, I don't know. Again, it's hard for me to score it as I go. Yeah, I'm going to go with the third round to Tuivasa. Okay, the official decision is brought to you by Metro PCS. Tuivasa's got a streak of blood down his face. Bruce Buffer. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges score the contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision. Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa won 29-28, unanimous decision. Wow, that's a tight one. Tai Tuivasa won 29-28, unanimous decision. Tai Tuivasa just spit blood on the camera. Joe Rogan wants to know his thoughts on the fight. Tai says it's an honor to fight Andre Arlovski. He says, thank you, Andre. This is a long fight for you. Tough fight against a guy with a lot of experience. This is Joe Rogan speaking. How much did that affect you? How much were you learning there in the fight? Tai Tuivasa says finally he can shut some people up and say, fuck it. What if it goes to the second round, you know? So he's experienced now. First time going to the judges. Tuivasa says, obviously I was coming after the knockout, but he's a tough opponent there. Joe Rogan says that Tuivasa has massive amounts of potential. You're learning for your development. Congratulations on a huge win. We look forward to seeing you again. Tai Tuivasa wants Joe Rogan's shoe so we can do a shoey. Tai Tuivasa wanted to do a shoey out of Joe Rogan's shoe. He says, can I do a shoey out of your shoe, Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan says, no, you're not getting my shoe, brother. And Tuivasa says he's going to do a shoey. He's walking to the crowd right now. He's going to do a shoey. A guy in the crowd has a beer. He has a shoe. He poured the beer in the shoe, and Tuivasa just did a shoey out of some random guy's shoe. He threw the shoe back into the crowd, and Tuivasa, he's a character. I love that he does shoeys. How good would it feel to drink a beer out of a shoe after getting a professional mixed martial arts victory over a legend like Andre Pitbull Arlovski? Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Sorry, I've been ignoring you guys. Joe Rogan says he doesn't know how drinking a beer out of a shoe became a tradition. Dragon67 says that's fucking gross. Well, here, I'm going to drink a beer out of a cup. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, cheers, cheers. If you haven't already, thumb the video up. Consider subscribing to the channel. My goal is 4,000 subscribers by the end of this night. If you would do that for me, it would mean so very much to me. It would just propel me to some pretty cool places. My bosses would sure have a lot of love for me if I could get 4,000 subscribers by the end of the night. Oh, Tuivasa stopped. He's doing another shoey. A guy had a chuck. And the guy that poured the beer in the shoe, Tuivasa says, you drink it. The guy was like, I ain't drinking it. You drink it, Tuivasa. And he did another one. So Tuivasa did 2 shoeys on his way out of the octagon. Wow, cool beans. Starvin Marvin says now that guy has 1 shoe. No, Tuivasa gave it back to him. So now he still has 2 shoes. He just has 1 super wet shoe. A friend of mine, Andrew the Clown Kid Lawrence, who did the pre-fight show with me, who I'm hoping will do pre-fight shows with me like going forward. He's at this event. He lives in New York City, but he's in Chicago tonight, and he is doing shoeys. You follow Middle Easy on Twitter. You can see Andrew the Clown Kid Lawrence doing fucking shoeys. He's doing them out of like, looks like soccer cleats or something. Josh Bufo is upset that Arlovski didn't get the victory. I'm sorry, dude, but that's how it is. That's how we get down in Australia, says Lee Douglas. Okay, let's reset here. Okay, we're getting reset here. Our next fight is in the women's featherweight division with Holly, the Preacher's Daughter Holm versus Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson was the one-time Invicta featherweight champion. She was scheduled to fight Cyborg Justino, but like they said, visa issues or personal issues prevented her from making her UFC debut against Cyborg Justino. If Megan Anderson gets the victory here tonight against Holly Holm, she would likely be the next person to fight Cyborg Justino, but I would like to see Amanda the Lioness Nunes fight Cyborg. But whatever happens, this fight should be pretty decent. We got Holly Holm, who's known in my mind as the girl who knocked out Ronda Rousey. She also did the same head kick knockout of Betty Correia. It's kind of a question mark or a Brazilian kick against Correia. She went the full 5-round distance with Cyborg Justino. I thought that she defeated Germaine de Randamie and should have been, at one point, the UFC Women's Featherweight Champion. Nonetheless, she's getting the former Invicta Featherweight Champion here. Buffo, my bad. So yeah. Thanks so much for everybody who subscribed. Did your subscriptions show up right here? I hope they did. I want you guys to, get a little glory too. Megan Anderson is walking out to, I believe it's CCR, Bad Moon on the Rise. Her corner man and probably her head coach is the James Krause, owner of Glory Fitness and MMA in Kansas City. No, is it Lee Summit, Missouri, which is basically on the outside of Kansas City. Yeah, it's CCR Bad Moon Rising. She is now in the Flying Brian J prep point. Let's look at the tail of the tape of my own. Holly, the Preacher's Daughter Holm, is 11-4. She stands 68 inches tall. She is 4 inches shorter, so she's 5'8". And Megan Anderson is 6 foot tall at 72 inches. They both weighed in at 145 pounds. Megan has a 4-inch reach advantage at 73 inches, but she is making her UFC debut, so she does not have her average stats in her UFC career of very much course. John Nolan says that he bathes in mustard. That guy knows how to live. That guy knows how to live. Jesu Lux, my goal for this stream is to provide you with the best play-by-play that I can muster of the fights that are hidden behind a pay-per-view wall, so that you don't have to buy the pay-per-view if you don't want to. You don't have to find other means. I spent my $65 so I can try to give my best radio announcer impression of this fight card so you can feel like you're listening to the fight card on the radio. Thank you, Brian Martin. Oof. ZG Irish Fighter says, can I get an oof? Oof. Oof. Holly Holm is in the Flying Brian J prep point. She is the former UFC Bantamweight champion. She's the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame. Her professional boxing record was 33 wins, 2 losses, 3 draws. She has 8 victories by knockout. 7 of those came via kick. So even though she has a background in boxing, her knockouts come via leg to the face. She is fighting out of the red corner. Holly Holm is wearing a gray shorty shorts that are tight with a gray and black sports bra. And Megan Anderson is in black. Megan Anderson, of course, fighting out of the blue corner. Holly Holm out of the red corner. Holly Holm is 36 years old. Megan Anderson is 28, and Megan is fighting out of Australia. All right. Now for the introductions, here's Bruce Buffer. Dragon67 says Holly needs to be more aggressive. Bruce Buffer has the microphone and he says, fighting out of the blue corner. This is a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 8 wins, 2 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighed in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Gold Coast, Australia. She is the plus 130 underdog. The former Invicta FC Women's Featherweight Champion of the World, Megan Anderson. Introducing her opponent. Fighting out of the red corner. A kickboxer. Holding a professional record. 11 wins, 4 losses. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. She is the minus 160 favorite. The former UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the World, Holly, the Preacher's Daughter, Holm. All right, let's get it on. Let's get some action crappening, my main man. Our referee is Kevin MacDonald. I got the Brooklyn, the ring girl. She blew us a kiss and she tells us peace. Number 2. I'm ready to rock. 3 rounds in the women's featherweight division. This is the first UFC women's featherweight non-title fight. Wow, that's crazy. The first one. Holly Holm is out of the southpaw stance. Megan Anderson out of the orthodox stance. Megan has her lead hand up, finger straight up in the air. She's going to be using that as a rangefinder. She went for a front kick. Well, a push kick, but no dice. Holly came with a left knee to the face, landed for Anderson, and then a right hand behind it landed for Anderson, and she has Holly on the ropes a little bit. A right uppercut landed for Anderson. A left knee to the body landed from Anderson on Holm, but Holm took that opportunity to get one underhook on the left side and clinch up and press Megan Anderson up against the fence. Thus far, Megan Anderson is looking like a really powerful girl. Megan is being pressed up against the fence near the blue corner right now by Holly Holm. Holly Holm has the left underhook, but she's got an overhook on the right. She's reaching her arm across the body, over that overhook, across the body of Anderson, and she's framing with her head. She went for a left punch from there, but missed. Megan Anderson blocked it. Left knee to the thigh from Holly Holm lands. Holly's working hard to press Anderson up against the fence here. Left elbow landed for Holm. She's still pressing Megan up against the fence. They're working hard here. Now Holm has the left underhook. Megan switched her hips position. She did have her right hip against the fence. Now she has her left hip against the fence, but Holm is still pressing her up against that fence. Holm is looking to pummel under. Again, Megan switched her hips. Now she's on the other side. Her right hip is up against the fence. Holm is pressing her up against there. She's looking to control her posture with her head. Holm hit her with a right knee to the right thigh. Did Holm. Megan is pushing the chin up of Holm. Megan went for a knee. She was briefly pressing away, but Holm again pressed up against the fence. Anderson was trying to land some knees to the body of Holm, but Holm pressed her up against the fence. Megan has her right palm underneath the chin of Holm. She was trying to press it up, or Anderson was trying to press the chin up of Holm. No dice, okay. Same position. Anderson has her right hip against the fence. Holm has a right underhook, and she's pressing Anderson up against the fence. She went for a left elbow to the face. Right now on the left side, Holm is trying to control the wrist of Anderson. She's got her right knee pressed up against the left knee of Anderson with the right underhook. She's pressing into the side of her face with her head, and Holm landed 2 big knees to the thigh. She missed on a 3rd knee to the thigh of Anderson. Anderson raked the back of Holm's head to get back to the center of the octagon. Now we're standing at a distance with Anderson pressing forward, and she looks like the much bigger fighter inside of that cage. She has the center of the octagon. She went with the right hand, missed. A left knee to the body landed on Anderson, and Holm is trying to clinch up again. Anderson presses her off. Anderson is pressing forward. She got her hand up. Holm went in for a stepping in left that barely missed. Ooh, a left push kick to the chin landed for Holm. Wow, that was good. But Anderson is in pursuit. She was in hot pursuit, and Holm decided to dive in on a single leg takedown. She's trying to run the pipe. She got it. She got a takedown, but Anderson kind of has a crucifix on her. So Holm is in the top position. She's got her left shoulder on like the solar plexus of Anderson, but Anderson has her left arm over the head of Holm, but then under the right arm of Holm, and then she's gripping her behind, like she's got a grip behind her back there, which is not allowing Holm to do anything. Holm slid her head out, and now Holm is in side control, close to the center of the octagon. Okay. Holm has the top position. She's in on the right side of Anderson. She's got the side control. I don't know what she's gonna do. She's now in half guard. Anderson's gonna look to re-guard and get back to her feet. Anderson looked for a sweep. She's got really long legs. She's got her legs like wrapped around the torso from the back side of Holm. But Holm might be in a decent position to rain down some ground and pound from here. Megan Anderson spun around behind Holly Holm. Holm is now kneeing Anderson's ass. It's a really weird position. I wish I could show you guys the really super weird position they're in. And that is the end of the round. So Holm controlled the majority of... She had the majority of the control. I think the more meaningful strikes were landed by Anderson, but Holm had her pressed up against the fence for a lot of that round, and Holm did get the takedown. That's going to be a tough one to score. James Krause is saying that Holm is going to try to press her up against the fence some more, and that Anderson needs to show a little more urgency. I don't know. I think that Holm won the first round. Yeah, Holm won the first round in my opinion. Okay, here we go. And we're on. The takedown that Holly Holm landed, John Anning says, was her third takedown in her 9 UFC appearances. We're in the center of the cage. Holly went for an overhand left that almost landed. It just was on the cusp of landing. Wasn't powerful enough. A lead right hook for Holm landed on Anderson. Anderson, same stance. She's got that long stance, hand up here. She's got her right hand on her head, and she's stepping forward, stepping forward. Holm went for a stepping in, kind of Lyoto Machida, diving in left straight, but was unsuccessful with it. Anderson came in with the right hand. Holm once again ducked under it. She's going in on a single. She's got the left leg of Anderson up in the air. She had it tied between her legs for a brief second, unable to get the takedown, but she pressed Anderson up against the fence. She has the right underhook, and they're fighting for wrist control on the left. She's got her forehead onto the left jaw of Anderson. Anderson has her right hip up against the fence, and Holm is kneeing her to the thigh. I forgot to start the goddamn clock. So I'll have to start this at like 03:30. Okay, so we'll start that clock when it gets to 3:30. Sorry, guys. Same position, though. Holm pressing Anderson up against the fence. She goes for a left elbow to the face. Might have landed. They separate back toward the center of the octagon. Anderson walking Holm down again. A right straight landed for Anderson. Anderson's walking forward. She's got that palm up front. Stepping side kick to the leg landed for Holly Holm after she tried a stepping side kick to the thigh. That's close enough. Wide right landed for Holly Holm. Holly Holm is backing up. She's got her back really close to the fence. Anderson's walking her down. Anderson goes for a right straight to the body, then a knee to the body, and then Holm counters that with a takedown attempt. And Holm is now in half guard on top of Megan Anderson, and she might be looking for a Kimura on the far side. Joe Rogan says we very rarely see Holly go for any type of submissions. She goes with a right knee to the thigh of Megan Anderson, where there's a face tattoo with a sword. But Holm is looking to go to mount. She's going to be in three-quarter mount almost, because her foot is stuck between the guard of Anderson, but she's got both knees past the guard, and her hips are on top of the belly button of Anderson. Anderson is going to try to re-guard that leg, and Holm is looking for the far side Kimura. Now Holm is in side control, but she lost the submission attempt. Okay, she's going to try to go for that arm again. Nope, she's content to hold a side control here. Anderson looked to try to re-guard a little bit. Holm's trying to do a little bit of a crucifix mount. She's trying to tie up the right arm of Anderson with her left leg to put it between her legs from this half guard position. Oh, now Holm is in the full mount. Full mount. Megan still snagged the right. Holly Holm is in the full mount. She's looking to set up an arm triangle choke from this mount position. She's got her head behind the arm of Anderson and the left hand around it. She's going to look to get... Megan Anderson is defending pretty well. She's... Holly is pressing down. Megan Anderson has her right hand in between the arm of Holm, so that preventing the arm triangle choke, and Holly Holm abandoned it. Now she's just in the full mount, really high full mount, and rained down some decent ground and pound. Megan Anderson is trying to reach back with her legs to grab Holm so that she can get her posture, but Holm is raining down some decent ground and pound right now in the full mount position. Wow. Joe Rogan is saying that Megan Anderson does not have a lot of experience in this position. A couple of shoulder strikes from Holm landed on the grounded on her back Megan Anderson, and Holly Holm is in full control of this fight right now, in full mount, raining down some decent ground and pound. She's a couple of left hands landed to the top of the head-ish of Megan Anderson, but Holm is definitely controlling her here. Ooh, like an almost 10-6 elbow, but not like straight up and down, but like just pressing her forearm into the face of Megan Anderson landed, and Holm is turning up some ferocity with this ground and pound on Megan Anderson right now. She postures up, she goes for an elbow, kind of slashed across the forehead of Megan Anderson, but it did not do much damage. So I personally have Holly Holm up 2-0. How am I doing, guys? Thank you all for being here. Please thumb the video up and subscribe if you haven't already. I will be sure to start the clock for this next round. James Krause tells Megan Anderson that she is down 2-0. You're still fine. Jackson Winklejohn are telling Holly Holm not to stop and go. Holm is up off of her bench, off of her stool, and she is pacing back and forth before the start of round number 3. Third and final round. Here we go. Megan Anderson, Holly Holm. Here we go. Ah, fuck. I messed that up a little bit. Okay. Overhand, like a lead right hook, and then a left kick to the body for Holly Holm is a good combination. The right hook missed. The left kick to the body did land for Holly Holm on the body of Megan Anderson. Holly Holm just stepped in with a left straight that shook the head back a little bit of Megan Anderson, but Anderson is still pursuing. Anderson had Holm with her back close to the fence, and as she was pressing forward, Holm once again goes in for a takedown. She has the left leg tied between her knees. She's got her right arm underneath of her thigh, and she's looking to elevate and dumping Megan Anderson to the ground. She went for a trip, didn't get it. Anderson's reaching back like she might go for a guillotine. She abandons that, and Holly Holm is once again pressing Megan Anderson up against the fence. This time, Megan Anderson has her right hip up against the fence. Holly Holm has both underhooks, and she's pressing her head into the left jaw of Megan Anderson. Holly Holm pressing her up there. She's going to look to knee to the thigh, I think. Okay, they're fighting for wrist control on the left side, but Holm has that underhook on the right side solidified. Holm went for a left upper elbow to the face, landed. And Holly Holm is pressing Megan Anderson up against the fence here. Not a lot to say. Couple of left uppercuts that had another one. The kind of shovel punches in this tight clinch that didn't have a lot of pop on them. Probably 3 of them landed for Holm. Okay, Holm is pressing her forehead up against the jaw of Anderson, and she just mustered up some strength and drug Anderson to the ground. Holly Holm is in half guard on top of Megan Anderson, and she's looking to pull her knee out of the guard and pass into the full mount again. And she succeeds. We are right up against the fence on top of the UFC 226 July 7th, Saturday logo, with Holly, the Preacher's Daughter Holm, in the full mount on top of Megan Anderson, who is a left hand. Holm thought about going for a submission attempt, but a right elbow landed to the face of Anderson from Holm. Right now, it seems that Holm is saying there are levels to this shit, kind of. Holm decided to just hop off of the full mount when Anderson was trying to throw her legs up really high. And so she was avoiding getting swept and put on her back, so she just disengaged, got back to the feet. Holm went for a left high kick that was blocked by the arm of Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson again pressing forward. We're beyond the... Holm is beyond the double stripes, and Anderson moves into the double stripes as well, beyond the double stripes. And as she does that, Holm once again goes for an underhook, and she's going to look for a trip takedown. She elevated Anderson, but Anderson was able to get her feet back to the ground. But again, Holm drug Anderson to the ground, and now Holly Holm is in half guard with her left leg free, her right leg stuck in the full guard of Megan Anderson, and it looks like Holly Holm is content to just do a lot of damage to the left thigh of Megan Anderson. Okay, so Holly pulled out of the guard completely, and she's now in side control. She's going to look for the crucifix mount. She might look to go back to full mount. Elbows from the top position on the forehead of Megan Anderson. And now Holly Holm, full mount now. Right hand lands from Holly Holm on Megan Anderson. Holm with 2 shoulders to the head of her opponent, who she has in the full mount. And now she's postured up, raining down ground and pound on Megan Anderson. She might look for the rear naked choke here. Megan Anderson was eating that ground and pound, going to give up her back. But she's so long, she was able to kind of re-guard a little bit and not give up her back. Okay, now Holly again in side control. She's going to look to crucifix mount. Megan Anderson spinning to her belly, but we're in like a north-south position with the Holly Holm has her crotch on the back of Megan Anderson's head, and Anderson might go for her own takedown attempt. Holly Holm looking for a guillotine choke. So as the fight ends, Holly Holm was attempting a guillotine choke. 30-27 is my score in favor of the Preacher's Daughter, Holly Holm, saying, oh, I didn't do the second round. Okay. Holly Holm, 30-27 on my scorecard over the debutante and the highly touted Megan Anderson. Megan Anderson's biggest moments happened in the early portions of the first round, where she did a big stepping in knee to the face of Holly Holm, and it looked like Holly might be in trouble early. As the fight went on, Holly decided that she wasn't going to be striking with this youngster, and she decided to show that she is a well-rounded mixed martial artist. every single time that Anderson would be looking to put Holly Holm in danger, pressing her back past those double stripes in the octagon, looking to put big power on it. Holly Holm would duck under it, go for a single leg, and then end up getting that into a body lock and just drag it to the ground, kind of a takedown. The significant strikes, 65 for Holly Holm. She had 4 takedowns and a total control time of 10 minutes and 39 seconds in a 15-minute fight. That is huge. Total significant strikes landed for Megan Anderson were 22. So, yep, clearly a victory for Holly, the preacher's daughter, Holm. Okay, we're going to get the microphone to Bruce Buffer, and he will announce the official decision. I expect it, fully expect it to be 30-27 for the preacher's daughter. But no real knock on Megan Anderson. You know, I still want to see her fight in the UFC. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest. 30-27. 30-26 and 30-26 for the unanimous decision victor, Holly, the preacher's daughter, Holm. 30-26 on 2 of the judges' scorecards. Wow. Wow, big, I enjoyed that fight. I enjoyed watching that fight quite a bit. It was neat to see this different weird wrinkle in the game of Holly Holm. And she does her patented backflip with her coach, Mike Winklejohn. And Joe Rogan is now here with the winner, Holly, the preacher's daughter, Holm. Congratulations on a very, very impressive victory. This is Joe Rogan speaking. You showed a completely new level to your game today, wrestling and your ground control. Was that your game plan coming in here? Holly says that her game plan is always open-ended. She decides what to do round by round. She says she does takedowns in practice. It's about time she starts doing them in fights. She says you never know what's going to happen, so you just got to make good things happen. Joe Rogan says there was a question coming in with Megan Anderson, how would she do against world-class competition? And Holly Holm once again proved that she is one of the best women's mixed martial artists on the planet. She says, thank you, Joe. She says, I love you guys very much to the crowd. She's crying a little bit like she does. She's an emotional girl. Joe Rogan asks if she's going to be at 135 or 145. She wants her 135-pound belt back. She said it's like losing her pet. Her heart hurts from losing that belt. She wants to get back to that. She says in boxing she fought in 3 weight classes. She says you have to take big risks to get big victories. Like taking Cyborg at a heavier weight. She said that was a big thing. She wanted to do this. She wants to do it for the victory and to be a part of it. She wants to take challenges. She says 135 is really where she belongs. Joe Rogan asked if she wants the 145-pound belt or the 135-pound belt, and she's like, well, naturally I want it all. But she says the 135-pound belt calls her name a little bit more because she lost it. She wants to say there are so many ups and downs in life. And she says that everyone always talks about their team and stuff, but my team right here, and the 2 are out here. She says, I'm 36, I'll be 37. She says there's questions all the time if she's going to retire. And she's like, I want to be here. She says, I've been with this training camp since the beginning. This win was for my team. Joe Rogan thanks her, and cool beans. It was a fun fight. Okay. Cool. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm sorry I'm not paying attention too much of your comments. I apologize for that, but I'm doing my best. If I could do anything to improve this stream for you guys, please tell me about it. I want to listen to you. I want to do things better. Thank you, Tiny Dancer, for subscribing. I appreciate you a lot, more than you know. Thank you so much. So yeah, if there's anything that I could do to make the stream better for you, more enjoyable, other than showing the fights, obviously, I want to know. Okay, so we are ready for the co-main event of the evening, which is between Rafael dos Anjos and Chaos Colby Covington. Yes, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I really want to get to 4,000 by the end of the night. It would mean so much to me if you guys help me get there. The bosses would think that I was you know, actually worth having on the team. So it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to the channel. Also, thumb the video up, because the more thumbs up the video gets, the more people that see it, and the more people that see it, the more apt they are to subscribe to the channel. The more people that subscribe to the channel, the more my bosses think I'm not a pile of butthole. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a pile of butthole. No. Okay. We're listening to Chaos Colby Covington talk some shit. He's the worst shit talker there ever was in the history of time. But because he's such a jerk, he makes people like me care. And I want to see him lose. So, also, we need to change this over. We are ready for the 5-round fights. 6 more dudes. 6 more subscribers. Thank you, Nax Jana. Jana. Thanks, Jono Wallace. I appreciate you, my dude. Thank you, Super Paul BF. I appreciate you a shitload, my dude. Yes, I feel like a pile of butthole. Thank you for being here. We live to help. I appreciate you. You can, if you want to talk to me beyond this stream, you can follow me on Twitter at FlyingBrianJ, which is this. Also on Twitter, no, on Facebook at FlyingBrianShow. Facebook.com/FlyingBrianShow. We need 4 more subscribers to beat up 4,000, guys. Come on, let's get it. Let's get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Super Paul. Thank you, Leo Black. Thank you for being here, Fluffy Unicorn. Ty Wolf, thanks for being here. John Nolan, thank you for being here. Colin Bradshaw, thanks for being here. Mitchell Miller, thank you for being here. Nishan Birdie, we can't talk about that, my man. Rob Amon hopes that Rafael dos Anjos humbles Colby Covington. Me too. Here we go. Walkouts happening. Colby Covington is walking out to Miniman because they wish death upon him. So he's really taking on the bad guy and the villain role. Girl, you seem to love me now. Would you love me if I was down and out? I still have love. Sorry, I won't sing, guys. All right, so Colby Covington is walking out with the American flag draped over his shoulders, upside down. He's got Jorge Masvidal, who looks like he's got a belly on him right now, in his corner walking out. Looks like he's got a mullet, too. Also, Mike Brown. So, earlier when I said that there was somebody in the corner that had a mullet, I think it was Jorge Masvidal. With his hat on right now, he looks like he has a mullet. Anyway, Colby Covington is making his way to the octagon. He's got blue wrestling trunks on. They're tight. They're about mid-length. He is the number 4 welterweight in the world. He's got the American flag over his shoulders, upside down. We made it, guys. We made it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for getting me past 4,000 subscribers. I'll give you a bigger thank you toward the end of the video. I don't want to miss any of this play-by-play. Colby Covington is now in the Flying Brian J prep point. He takes off a shirt, a sweat, like it's a zip-up hoodie. It's a Reebok, to reveal his fight shirt underneath that says Chaos Colby Covington on it. He gives somebody a hug and a kiss in the crowd. He puts his mouthpiece in. He spit on the ground. He took that shirt off now. He sticks his tongue out. He hugs his corner man. He bro hugs Jorge Masvidal. He bro hugs another guy. And he gives a bro hug to Mike Brown. Mike Brown, of course, fought Uriah Faber in the WEC for the WEC. I believe it was the featherweight championship, or was it the bantamweight? Anyway, Colby Covington is now getting Vaseline put on his face by Boston Strong, a guy that's Boston Strong on the back of his shirt. Got a tattoo on his arm, some Asian writing on it, and then a lion. Colby Covington has the third longest active win streak in the UFC welterweight division at 5 wins. He has the highest takedown rate in UFC welterweight history at 5.98 takedowns per 15-minute fight. That is a lot. And that's a lot considering that he is in the division where Georges Rush St. Pierre was the king for a long time, and he too is really good with takedowns. So Colby averages more takedowns per 15-minute fight than George Rush St. Pierre. And now it's time for his opponent, Rafael dos Anjos, to make his way to the octagon. Oh, I got one person unsubscribed? Son of a gun. I don't know what the hell Rafael dos Anjos is walking out to. Rafael is kind of running. No, he's running. Rafael is running to the octagon. The camera crew's having a tough time keeping up with him, so they switched to an overhead camera. He is now in the Flying Brian J prep point. He's not going to hug anybody, it doesn't seem. He just wants to get this Vaseline on his face. He wants to get in there, and he wants to kick some ass, it seems. There's a guy in the crowd behind him who might have drank too much, took his shirt off, he's waving it around, and he's dabbing a whole bunch. You skinny little bastard, put your shirt on. Weird. Neither one of these fighters look nervous. Rafael dos Anjos looks collected. He looks calm, looks cool. Colby Covington looked like his normal self. Rafael dos Anjos is the former UFC lightweight champion. He's undefeated since moving to welterweight. He's on a 3-fight win streak. His last one was a 50-45 × 3 unanimous decision victory over the former UFC welterweight champion, Robbie Lawler. He averages 6.08 significant strikes per minute at welterweight and an 88% increase from his time at lightweight. So when he doesn't drain himself too much, he really shines in this weight class. You see it time and time again that a fighter leaves a weight class where they're cutting too much weight, they go up in weight, and they succeed. We're going to see that in the next fight with Robert Whittaker. You know, he's the middleweight champion. He used to fight at welterweight. Tail of the tape. Rafael dos Anjos is 33. Colby Covington is 30. Covington is 3 inches taller and will have a 2-inch reach advantage. They both weighed in at 169 pounds. This is for the interim welterweight championship of the world. John O. Wallace said, "Nerd bashing time." Hashtag fight nerds. Bruce Buffer has the microphone. Our 3 judges are Saul D'Amato, Kelvin Caldwell, and Mike Bell. Our referee in charge is Herbus Dinas. He says namaste. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He says he's a striker. He lists himself as a striker. He's 13-1. His one loss was to Warley Alves via guillotine choke. He's fighting out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He's the -135 favorite. The number 4 welterweight contender in the world. Chaos Colby Covington. And he has on his right arm, on the inside of his right arm, he has Chaos tattooed right there. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. A grappler. Holding a professional record, 8 wins, 9 losses. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He's the underdog at +105. He's the former UFC lightweight champion of the world, Rafael dos Anjos. Yeah, CM Punk lost via unanimous decision. 30-26, I think. Wasn't that right? Okay, we're bringing him to the middle. Bruce Buffer has his arm underneath the armpit of Herb Dean. Herb Dean says, protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. Keep it clean, touch gloves, and let's do this. They do not touch gloves. Rafael dos Anjos has the yellow Brazilian UFC trunks on. They are tight, just like Colby Covington, that are both wearing the grappling trunks. Here we go. First round, Covington runs forward, and he's pressing. Covington is pressing forward quite a bit. He's in on a takedown, and he's got dos Anjos down early. Dos Anjos gives up his back, but he's back to his feet. Covington takes him right back to the ground. Covington is all over dos Anjos, and somebody already has is bloody. It looks like there's blood coming from the ear of Rafael dos Anjos, but I can't tell if it's coming from the face of Colby or from the ear of RDA. Dos Anjos is to his feet, and Covington picks him up and puts him right back down. Okay, Joe Rogan thinks it's the cauliflower ear of dos Anjos that's bleeding. Rafael is up, but Covington is pressing him up against the fence. Covington has the right underhook, and he's pressing RDA up against the fence. RDA is framing off pretty well. He was pressing the head away, Covington's head away. He was trying for an elbow there, but we're in that same position. Rafael has his right hip up against the cage with a right underhook from Covington. But Covington landed a left hook. They separate. RDA circles out. He's in the center of the cage now. Covington's moving forward with Rafael in the center of the octagon. Covington is the one pressing forward. Outside left low kick landed for RDA. Covington moves forward, and he ate a 1-2 for his time. But Covington pressed RDA up against the fence. I'm just going to say RDA. Sorry if that's not cool with you. Anyway, Covington has RDA pressed up against the fence. He's got one underhook on the right side. They're looking for wrist control. Covington is putting his forehead underneath the chin of RDA. Covington went to dive down for the single leg, but didn't get it, came right back up, and he's still pressing Rafael dos Anjos up against the fence. Same position. We're in the blue corner. Covington pressing dos Anjos up against the fence. Dos Anjos landed a knee to the body of Covington. Dos Anjos got a right underhook and was able to circle out. Now we're standing up at a distance again. Covington pressing forward, RDA moving back. Covington went for a right high kick that was blocked by dos Anjos, and once again, same position. Right underhook for Covington, but dos Anjos moved off to his left. So now we're circling to our left with Covington pressing forward, and RDA is trying to get big punches on Covington's head. Covington's pressing forward. He comes with a right hook, no dice. Dos Anjos hit Covington with a nice knee to the body. Now we're in that same position. Underhook for Covington. He's pressing dos Anjos up against the fence, but dos Anjos is framing off with his right arm, keeping the head away from, pushing the head away on Covington, and dos Anjos was able to circle off to his left. Covington's pressing forward again. Same position. Knee to the body lands for dos Anjos, while dos Anjos has his back up against the fence. Dos Anjos just hit Covington with a couple of Travis Brown elbows to the side of the head. Covington tried to protest it to Herb Dean. Now we're standing up, but still pressed up against the fence. A couple of right knees to the body landed on Covington's body from Rafael dos Anjos. Covington is moving forward again. RDA went for a ripping right hook to the body and then a knee to the body as well. Covington has RDA pressed up against the fence. Covington dropped down for a takedown attempt. Rafael dos Anjos pressed it off. Got his hand on the plum clinch, raked him off, and now we're back to the center of the octagon. Covington's landing some low kicks. Right body kick landed for dos Anjos. A right hand landed to the face of Covington from dos Anjos. Covington kicked to the body of dos Anjos moving forward. Now dos Anjos was moving forward with a couple of strikes. Covington missed with a right high kick. Then he went for a right body kick that dos Anjos blocked. Dos Anjos tried to return fire on the right side, and Covington blocked it as well. Outside low kick landed for dos Anjos as Covington moved in to go to that same position. Covington with the right underhook pressing RDA up against the fence. And Covington dove in on a double leg. Rafael warded that off. Covington has the right underhook. Dos Anjos went for the plum clinch, circled out. And as they did that, Covington tried for a spinning back fist, unsuccessful. Couple of inside low kicks landed for Covington as he's still moving forward. Joe Rogan saying that Covington is forcing Dos Anjos to fight off the back foot. Same position. Covington has RDA pressed up against the fence. RDA landed a knee to the body. Okay, so I think that Covington won that round quite clearly, right, guys? Covington's corner is saying, focus on that heart rate, getting it down, get that heart rate down. Masvidal is rubbing Covington's arms, getting his arms loose. Covington drinking some water. Neither guy looks tired right now. RDA looks good to go. He's sitting up tall on his stool. His coach asks how he feels, and he says, I feel good. His coach says, just stay focused. All right, here we go. On to round number 2. Yeah, both guys look to have a good amount of energy. If I had to say, like, RDA was at a 10 and Covington was at like a 9.9, but both guys' energy looks good. Round number 2, here we go. Again, Covington kind of runs towards Dos Anjos. He moves toward him. Covington landed a right high kick, and as he did so, he smiled at RDA. And then there was a wild flurry, and Covington went in on a takedown. He's got Dos Anjos in a referee's position. He had him down for a brief moment. Dos Anjos pops back to his feet. Covington drags him back to the ground. Dos Anjos has his right hip up against the fence as Covington presses him up against the fence. And now we're in that same position. Right underhook. Covington has a right underhook, and he just landed a left elbow on RDA's face. Right knee to the body landed for Dos Anjos. But in that same position, Covington goes in for a takedown attempt. Briefly, just changed levels, no dice. Dos Anjos was going to go for a guillotine attempt or a headlock attempt. Not doing. Back in that same position. I'm just going to say that same position. Right kick to the body lands for Dos Anjos as they circle out. A double jab landed on the face of Covington from Dos Anjos. Inside low kick landed. So Covington went inside low kick, outside low kick. Both of them landed on Dos Anjos. Covington presses up, right up to the fence once again. The crowd is chanting that Colby sucks. Colby sucks. Colby sucks. So Colby's in on a double leg. Dos Anjos has double overhooks. He's grabbing the torso to try to avoid the takedown attempt. Colby had him down, but Dos Anjos scrambled, and he's back to his feet. We're in that same position. RDA circled out, and now RDA has Covington with his back toward the fence. Outside low kick lands for Covington. Right body kick landed for RDA. Left hook to the body landed for RDA. Couple of jabs landed from Dos Anjos. A right hook to the body landed for Dos Anjos. A left over the top landed for Covington. Both guys are in the southpaw stance. Stepping in left straight landed for Covington, and he pressed RDA up against the fence again. We're in that same position. Covington goes down for a takedown attempt, no dice. Dos Anjos lands a knee to the body. Same position. Covington pressing RDA up against the fence. RDA got wrist control, circled out to his right. These low kicks are really working for Covington, and also the rangier punches too. Covington double jab, left straight landed, and a left uppercut landed for Covington. Outside low kick landed for Covington. He goes for a right body kick landed for Dos Anjos. Right hook to the body landed for Dos Anjos, and he goes for a two-hook combination. I can't tell from this angle if they landed good enough. A right hook landed for Covington. Covington presses forward, misses with a couple of hooks, but he landed an uppercut. Covington is going in for another takedown. Same position, basically. Pressing RDA up against the fence. Okay, Covington pressing RDA up against the fence in the blue corner. Covington has RDA pressed up against the fence. RDA goes for the plum. He's going to try to circle out to his right. He does so. Covington landed a good punch and then smiled at Dos Anjos. Covington missed with a 1-2, just didn't have the range, but then he landed a low kick and he steps in. He's in on a takedown attempt, and he's got Dos Anjos down. Dos Anjos has given up his back. Dos Anjos has to be really careful here. Covington has one hook in, like the referee's position, up against the fence. He has the back. He has his chest on Dos Anjos' back, but they're kind of in a... Okay, now Covington has the back, but no hooks in. Dos Anjos goes to stand up. Covington's looking to drag Dos Anjos back to the ground. Okay, Dos Anjos is up to his feet. Covington is pressing him up. Dos Anjos circles out. The blood from Dos Anjos' ear is all over the face of Covington. And that's clearly another victory, another round victory for Colby Covington. Even though Colby doesn't have, like, his strikes aren't that great, he's overwhelming Dos Anjos with his pressure. And because of this pressure, Dos Anjos can't get off any very good strikes. So Covington is just moving forward. He's throwing pretty wildly, but occasionally he got a good uppercut there against Dos Anjos. Didn't hurt Dos Anjos, but it was a really powerful strike. Dos Anjos' corner says, keep moving those feet. Don't let him push you up against the fence. Now the energy level for Dos Anjos seems to be fading. He's got his hands on his knees in his corner. He's leaning over. His torso is expanding and compressing quite a bit because he's breathing really hard. He's tired. He's getting a lot of drinks of water. Okay, so the blood on Covington's face was it's a cut underneath of his right eye. They got a lot of Vaseline on it. Okay. Covington says, or Joe Rogan says that RDA's corner between rounds is just trying to hype him up. There's not a lot of technical advice. They're just like, don't quit. Colby, when they... I forgot to start the round. Close enough. As Covington stepped in to go in on that same position, Dos Anjos landed a left uppercut, but it doesn't fucking matter. Covington presses him up against the fence, and we're in that same position. Covington goes to change levels to go in on this single leg. He's elevating RDA. He didn't get it, but he's still pressing RDA up against the fence. RDA is really swinging for the fences now. Outside low kick on both sides land for Covington as he presses up against the fence again, and we're in that same position. Covington is dropping levels. He's going to go for a takedown attempt. He gave up on the takedown attempt. Now we're up top in that same position. RDA got an underhook on the right side. Now he was pressing Covington back for a second. He got a knee to the body. Didn't do much, and now we're back in that same position. Man, Colby Covington is not that exciting. Okay, we're in the same position. Covington drops levels, and no dice. RDA got out of it. RDA landed a double jab, but inside low kick landed for Covington. Right high kick for Covington attempted, but blocked by RDA. Outside low kick landed for RDA on the left side. And the left thigh of Covington is kind of red. But guess where we're at? The same position. Covington is in on a double leg attempt. He elevates, and he gets RDA to the mat. Joe Rogan is saying that Covington is making RDA wilt. Okay, we're in that same position. Dos Anjos gets the plum clinch and circles out to his right again. Same thing over and over again. Outside low kick landed for Covington. Front kick to the nutsack landed. Covington kicked RDA in the nutsack. So we're going to have to pause this action. Hey, stop fighting in the comment section, guys. We're all good here. Respect. If you haven't already... Oh, clear kick to the junk. Oh, that fucking hurt me. Jeez. Moved his cup. Oh, fucking beans. Okay, we're back up. If you're not already, though, thumb the video up and subscribe to the channel. Please do. Please do that. Covington is moving forward and he's smiling at Dos Anjos. Okay, Colby back to the same position. He's pressing RDA up against the fence. Right knee to the body landed for Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos got a right underhook. He was going to try to reverse position, no dice. And Covington is pressing RDA up against the fence in that same position that we've been doing this whole time. The crowd is growing restless. Same position, not a lot to talk about, my dudes. Thank you, Sandy Duran, for subscribing. Right uppercut landed for Dos Anjos because we're not in the same position anymore. Low kick landed for Dos Anjos, but guess what? We're back right too. Colby Covington just keeps pressing back into that same position over and over and over again. Man, Colby Covington is boring. Thank you for being here, a.k.a. Maxwell. Thanks for being here, Dabmaster 101. Thanks for subscribing, Jordan Lee. We're in the same position. Covington, we're not in the same position now. Covington went for a right high kick. It was blocked by Dos Anjos, but then a right body kick landed for Covington, and then a left hook landed for Covington. Covington got a pretty good combination in on RDA. Now he's in on a double leg. He's going to elevate, and he's going to dump Dos Anjos down. Now Dos Anjos has on one knee with Covington on his back, and Covington is kneeing him in the butt. Okay, we're in the same position. Covington is pressing RDA up against the fence. He's got the right underhook, but Dos Anjos was able to circle out to his left. Now we're in open space again. Covington is pursuing. Covington missed with 2 hooks, but he presses in, and now he's once again in on an underhook up against the fence in the blue corner, pressing Dos Anjos' back up against the cage and just wearing him out. The crowd is growing increasingly restless. Dos Anjos got the plum clinch and knee to the body. Okay, clearly 30-27 for Covington so far. Thank you for subscribing, Doof, DHFFF. Thanks, my dude. AKA Maxwell, thanks you for subscribing. Okay, RDA's corner. They're saying breathe, take some water, and relax. Covington's saying we need some feints and fakes, big shots. Go to that side. That side's a little more open. Covington's corner is telling him to throw big double legs in the middle of the cage because Dos Anjos is used to the takedown attempts that Covington is doing against the fence. Like I've been saying, the same position. So Covington's corner is saying to hit a double leg from open space. Sean O'Brien says that I suck and I'm a nerd. I'm not going to argue with you. What's the cardio level? Dos Anjos looks to be a little dejected, and Covington seems seems raring to go. Okay, ready to go. Stepping in, Covington came in really fast, and Dos Anjos landed a big left hand on Covington, but Covington seems to be fine. He seems fine. Oh, forgot to start the clock. Started back at 30. Okay, we're in the center of the cage. Inside low kick lands for Covington. A right hand landed for Dos Anjos. Okay, now the clock should be accurate. Here we go. Covington goes for a big takedown with an underhook, elevated with the right underhook. But if he would have got it if it weren't for the fence, he got him right up against the fence. Now, Dos Anjos is attempting a takedown, and Dos Anjos took Covington down. Now, Dos Anjos is on the... Dos Anjos, we're in the north-south. Covington is on his knees. RDA is looking for a front headlock position, but I don't know what Dos Anjos is going to do here. Covington's on his knees. Dos Anjos is controlling the head of Covington. Okay, now because we were in that position, Covington just trucks right up to that same position. RDA had to give up that head control, but RDA spun out, and now RDA is going in for a double leg, and Dos Anjos got another double leg takedown against the fence here. Dos Anjos is on top. And Jimmy Smith is saying that there was almost no defense from Covington. Covington takes a big, deep breath, and Dos Anjos is on top of Covington against the fence here. He's going to look to pull him again away from the fence and keep him on the ground. Covington's back to his feet, but Dos Anjos is the one pressing Covington up against the fence. He's got his hands locked around the waist. Pressing Covington up against the fence here. Knee to the thigh lands for Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos, he's got his hands clasped below the hips of Covington. He looks to elevate. He did briefly, but Covington was... He still stayed on his feet. Herb Dean was warning Covington for some fence grabs. A knee to the butt lands for Dos Anjos. Another knee to the butt. Call them butt knees. Ooh, a third knee, but it landed to the thigh this time, not the butt. Covington's back to his feet. Dos Anjos is pressing him up against the cage, and Dos Anjos takes him to the ground again. This is very, very interesting. Dos Anjos has the back of Covington. Covington's on his feet. A knee to the thigh lands for Dos Anjos. Covington digs an underhook, and he's going to look to stand up and turn and face. Now we're on the feet. Dos Anjos landed a left straight on Covington. Covington's pressing forward again. Goes with a front kick that missed. Rear hand uppercut attempt for Covington was evaded by just pulling away from Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos landed a right hand. Covington's moving forward again. Covington moved forward. Now we're in that same Colby Covington position with a right underhook pressing Dos Anjos up against the fence. Dos Anjos circled out to his left from getting wrist control, and Dos Anjos is in on another takedown. Dos Anjos was trying a takedown attempt, warded off by Colby Covington. Covington stands back up and presses RDA up against the fence. We're in that same Colby Covington position again. Knee to the body lands for Dos Anjos. Total significant strikes landed in this fight are 77 for Covington and 76 for Dos Anjos. The crowd is once again chanting that Colby sucks. Colby's throwing some big punches. He's hitting a few of them. A left hand landed on the temple of Covington from Dos Anjos, but Colby once again drops in on this takedown attempt, pressing Dos Anjos up against the fence. Right hook landed on... Covington threw a right hook that landed as Dos Anjos circled out from the Colby Covington position to his left. Covington is opening up with a lot of strikes as he's pressing forward. He's in on a takedown on the other side, and he dumps RDA onto the ground with a single leg. Now Dos Anjos is on his back, his head facing away from the cage, and Colby Covington is in half guard. Covington is is looking to improve his position, but RDA is looking to sweep, but just holds position for the end of the round. Boom. At the very beginning of the 4th round, a big left hand landed on the jaw of Covington. And then from there, RDA kind of, it was definitely RDA's best round, but did he win the round? It was definitely, the 4th was the... Shaheen Al-Shadi has it 2-2 going into the 5th. Wow, what? I'll give the 4th round to Dos Anjos, but Colby, he's not gassing, but he looks way more dejected now. He's looking down at the ground as they're putting Vaseline on his face between the 4th and 5th rounds, and his posture was a little less. He's taking deep breaths between the rounds. He keeps looking at the ground. Big breath from Colby Covington. Big breath from Colby Covington. He's not gassing, but he certainly has less energy, and Dos Anjos seems to be a little bit rejuvenated. They meet in the center of the octagon at the start of the 5th round. Covington pressing forward again. Covington has his hands clasped around the waist of Dos Anjos, and he's trying to drag Dos Anjos to the ground. He's got it. Colby Covington has his chest on RDA's back with his hands clasped around his waist. RDA is trying to sit out. He's got his hands on his wrist. He's trying to lower his hips and trying to spin and face Colby Covington. But Covington is pressing RDA up against the fence. Dos Anjos does turn and face Covington. Left elbow lands for Covington and a double hook combination. A jumping knee from... Dos Anjos just tried a jumping knee, barely missed the face of Colby Covington. That was a risky maneuver. It almost paid off for him, but we're back in that same position. Covington is in on a double leg takedown. He gets RDA's hips to the ground. So, same position. Covington has let RDA off the clinch. And RDA's trying to circle back to the center of the cage. They're both swinging big punches. Left kick to the body lands for Dos Anjos. Front kick missed for Covington, but then a right, like switch kick, hit the arms of RDA from Covington. We're back in that same Colby Covington position. He's got Dos Anjos with Dos Anjos' right hip up against the fence. Dos Anjos is spreading his legs really wide to try to avoid this double leg takedown. Dos Anjos might be looking for a submission on the arm of Covington. I highly doubt he would get that from this position. Okay. Dos Anjos is back to his feet. Covington's on his back with his hands clasped around his waist. Herb Dean is saying work. Covington's pressing Dos Anjos up against the fence in the Colby Covington position. Okay. Now we're out of the clinch. Right kick to the body lands for Dos Anjos. Uppercut, right uppercut, left hook landed for Covington, and he comes right back into the Colby Covington position. We are in the Colby Covington position. Not much to say. Don't know what I would say. Right kick to the body lands for Covington. RDA goes in for a takedown attempt. Misses it. Right hook follows that landed. Left straight landed on Covington. Covington's pressing forward. Left hook landed from RDA on Covington. Might have wobbled him a bit there. RDA's going in for a takedown attempt again. But he went for a 50-50 underhook, overhook. And Covington, of course, reversed the position and pressed RDA up against the fence. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. Jones 1000. So we're in the Colby Covington position, but Covington has dropped his level. He's looking for this takedown. He ate a couple of Travis Brown elbows, so he moved his head off of the left side, brought it more to the middle so that RDA could not do that. And we're back up. Dos Anjos got the 50-50 underhook overhook, but Covington pummeled in for the re-underhook, and then he pressed RDA up against the fence again. Dos Anjos is looking for a Kimura. He's it was kind of a, he didn't get it. Covington rolled through on the Kimura attempt, but it seems like a last-ditch effort that he's trying to do. They're swinging in the middle here, actually. They were swinging in the middle. Not much was landing there for a second. Both guys throwing hooks in tight. Covington decided enough of that. And, of course, he pressed into the Colby Covington position. RDA had a front headlock for a second there. And we're going to see the end of this fight. 4-1 Covington on my card. Whoops. Oh, I put Covington around 5 in the wrong spot. There we go. I scored a fight 4-1 for Colby Covington. I fully expect him to be the interim welterweight champion, and he will have to fight Tyron the Chosen One Woodley in his next bout. We'll see what the official judges think. Colby Borrington, says Dragon67. It's funny. Thank you all so much for being here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. If I get enough subscribers on this specific stream, I'll be able to do these in the future. For this is a high-level, highly anticipated pay-per-view. Distance strikes, Rafael Dos Anjos landed 91, Covington 73. Clinch strikes, 57 for RDA, 81 for Covington. Takedowns, 2 for Dos Anjos, 7 for Covington. Advancing, Dos Anjos was only advancing 10% of the time, and Covington 46% of the time. But like I was saying, if I get enough subscribers on this specific stream, I can do it for future pay-per-view cards that aren't maybe that huge, or maybe even future events where if it's a Fox Sports 1 or an ESPN card, it can be more of a chat, like a hangout, rather than me doing play-by-play. We're just kicking it while we're watching the fights. Anyway, Dana White is in the octagon. He's chewing gum obnoxiously. He's got a belt in his hand, and Bruce Buffer is about to render the official decision. Colby Covington won 49-46, 48-47, 48-47. Covington's already talking shit. Colby Covington kissed Joe on the cheek. Colby Covington said that he's going to do what a real champion should do. He's taking this belt to Donald Trump's, the White House, and putting it on Donald Trump's desk. Colby Covington says this is the real championship belt, and he's coming for Tyron Woodley, and he calls Tyron Woodley a bitch. He's the third UFC interim welterweight champion. George St. Pierre and Carlos Condit were the first two. Colby Covington says, no one can stop my will, Joe. No one can go 25 minutes with me. Covington says he melted RDA. He was done after 2 rounds. Joe says congratulations to Colby Covington. The new interim welterweight champion, Colby Covington. Longest active win streaks in the UFC welterweight division. Kamaru Marty Usman has 8. Colby Covington has 6. Santiago Ponzinibbio has 6. Leon Rocky Edwards has 5. And Eleju Zaleski dos Santos has 5. So Colby Covington says he's going to take the welterweight title to the White House and put it on Donald Trump's desk. Colby Covington's walking out talking shit to the crowd saying, "You don't like me, but look at that, I won." Well, there we go. There's that. Okay, let's get ready for the main event of the evening. How am I doing, guys? Eddie Caballero, thanks for being here, my friend. Rob Amos says RDA is a gatekeeper at this point. Well, I mean, you know. Okay, we're getting ready for the main event of the evening, but first we're going to see a hype video getting us ready for UFC 226, which is taking place on July the 7th, 2018, between the heavyweight champion of the world, Stipe Miocic, and the light heavyweight champion, Daniel D.C. Cormier. I'm super pumped for that fight. But yeah, if you at least appreciate what I'm doing here, please thumb the video up and consider subscribing to the channel. There's a ton of good content that we put out on this channel. I put out a lot of top fights to watch for each fight card, so if you don't really know what fights you're interested in on the upcoming event, I can say what I'm looking forward to, and then maybe you and I can agree on that. I do some beer pairing videos where I find a beer and I relate it to a fight card, which is a lot of fun. I do pre-fight shows. I do post-fight shows. There's also a guy that trains with Team Alpha Male that does fighter-on-fighter technique breakdowns. And then, of course, there's like breaking news videos and stuff. This truly is a high-level YouTube channel, and I think that it would benefit you. If you're a fight fan, you're going to like this channel beyond just what I've got going on right here. So thanks for being here. Consider subscribing, and I'm going to pour myself a new beer. Thank you for subscribing, Lee Douglas. I appreciate you, my dude. Bozai Dragos, who won? The Salve Covington or the Brazilian guy? The Slave Covington? Yeah, Colby Covington won 49-46, 48-47, and 48-47. Unanimous decision victory. He is now the interim welterweight champion of the world, and he will be set up to fight Tyron, the Chosen One Woodley, in his next fight, depending on whenever Tyron will make his return to the octagon. We're still getting hyped for UFC 226, July the 7th. Main event is Stipe versus Daniel Cormier. Co-main event is Max Holloway defending his UFC featherweight championship against Brian T-City Ortega. Francis Ngannou versus Derek the Black Beast Lewis. Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis. And Gokhan Saki versus Khalil Roundtree. That is the main event of UFC 226. Fantastic stuff, guys. Brad McCaffrey, thanks for subscribing, dude. I didn't see it. Thanks for subscribing, Brad McCaffrey. Zephyr Jones, I don't think you guys get how good the Woodley versus Covington press conference will be. They're going to be, forget the fight. Ty Wolf says, oh, Woodley is going to hurt him. Okay, next up, we've got Yoel, the Soldier of God, Romero versus Robert Bobby Knuckles, or the Reaper, whatever you want to do, Whittaker. How do I feel about the commission not allowing Romero enough time to cut the weight? Well, it is in the interest of fighter safety, but what I don't like is that, you know, if the fight took place in Vegas, they wouldn't have been eyeing on him when he tried to make weight, so he probably would have cut that extra 0.2 pounds, which is 3.2 ounces. I don't like that. It depends on where a fight takes place, if you can make weight, I guess. If you know, who gets the victory? Because like in Liverpool, it was a controversial decision between Wonderboy and Darren Till. If it would have happened in Vegas, maybe Wonderboy gets that victory. I don't know, but it's just like these other athletic commissions. Maybe they're doing the right thing. They protected him, of course, from hurting himself by cutting too much weight, right? But it just sucks that the unified rules aren't unified and that commissions aren't unified either. I don't want a location to dictate who wins a fight or who is allowed to cut weight, or, you know, sometimes fighters are not allowed an extra hour or 2 hours to cut that extra pound if they miss weight. Sometimes it's just like you miss in your first attempt, you miss completely. Sometimes you get 2 hours, sometimes you get 1 hour. I just want consistency. Now, how do I feel about Yoel Romero missing weight by 0.2 pounds? I don't care. If he defeats Robert Whittaker tonight, in my mind, Yoel Romero will be the middleweight champion of the world. What is 0.2 pounds? This weighs more than 3.2 ounces right here. So this is how much more Yoel Romero weighed than Robert Whittaker yesterday. With that said, I'm picking Whittaker to get the victory. But, yeah. Slap myself for the sub, says Dr. Ben Johnson. How's that? There you go. Not subscribed. Subscribe now. There you go. All right, we're seeing the hype video for Yoel Romero versus Bobby Whittaker, Robert the Reaper. Let's go over some odds, I suppose. All right, Yoel Romero making his way to the cage, to like some really fun music. D Walkin, not Walkness Walkin, says they unsubbed. Why would you do that? I just picked Whittaker. I didn't say I was cheering for him. So Yoel Romero is making his way to the cage. He's wearing a Reebok shirt that has SOG on it, meaning the Soldier of God. It's a picture of him giving the salute. He is a big, scary motherfucker. This guy looks like a Greek god or a statue of himself. His music is really dancey, really flowy, and you know, obviously, you know, Cuban. He was born in Pinar del something, Cuba. Am I drinking already? You damn right, Shane. Why would you unsubscribe, Summer Gaming? Newt Sack 42. What up, Newt Sack? Thank you, Book Clays. Okay, so Yoel Romero is in the Flying Brian J prep point. He's standing right there, getting Vaseline put on his face. His corner man is kind of dancing too, because this song is just like super fun. Yoel Romero has 11 wins by knockout. He was the 2000 Olympic silver medalist, freestyle wrestling for Cuba. He has the third highest takedown defense in the UFC middleweight division. Dr. Ben Thomas, I already did slap myself for the sub. Ben Johnson, I mean. Thank you for the subscription. Benihana88. Ooh, Benihana. It's a fun restaurant, right? Thank you for being here, Luke. I enjoy Yoel's kisses. That's a funny name. Steve May says Bobby will again prove his dominance. Ooh, Robert Whittaker's walking out to Roy Jones Jr. Can't be touched. Can't be moved, can't be rocked, can't be shook. We hot. When will you ninjas learn? Good tune. Both walkout songs are pretty good. Nobody wins the walkout battle. Equally good in their own way. Different styles. Who as I say, a hustle like grind, get in my way. I'm pimping my hoes, I'm jacking my foes. I spit at police and duck my P.O. Ain't going to court, you can call the judge. Tell him kiss my ass, cause I ain't gonna budge. Alright, the Reaper is walking out. He's got a zipper hoodie on. Or he's got this hood up and he's looking like the Reaper. And he's just strutting his way to the octagon. He looks real mean. He always does that thing where he hits himself in the chest a bunch of times. He was born in Middlemore, New Zealand. His Twitter handle is at Rob Whittaker MMA. Oh, it's the line, guys. You know, it says ninjas. Ricky Leahy says I'm a horrible human being. Oh, it's talking about my singing. I'm sorry. I can't sing it, but I'm having fun. Just let me have some fun, man. Thanks for the subscription. Mara Girl 1. Appreciate you. Alright, Robert Whittaker takes his pants off to reveal his black trunks. They're not quite Muay Thai trunks. They look like board shorts. They're black with the gold lettering. He's giving bro hugs to his corner. Bro hug. Yeah. And now he enters the prep point. Thank you for the subscription, Michael Conrad. I appreciate you, my dude. WD40. Luke, I enjoy you all's kisses. Rockhold, I already gave you a shout out, my dude. Okay, Robert Whittaker is the UFC middleweight champion. He has the longest active win streak in the UFC middleweight division with 8 wins, and he has the 3rd highest takedown defense in UFC middleweight history. Thank you, Sandy Dern. Oh, I didn't see who subscribed that time. I missed it. Let me see. Thank you for subscribing, D'Artagnan Wade. D'Artagnan Wade. Thanks for subscribing. I apologize that I fudged your name up. I am drinking a New England IPA from Samuel Adams. Thank you for subscribing, Micah Sapanian. If we get one more subscriber, we will be... Ricky Leahy, I get it. Yeah, Trailer Park Boys. 777AQ, thank you for subscribing. One more and we'll be at 4,100. Okay, Robert Whittaker is 27. Yoel is 41. Yoel missed weight by 0.2 pounds. They are both 6 foot tall and have a 73.5 inch reach. We're sending it into the octagon with Bruce Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by MMAmania.com. Director Flying Brian J. and Tommy Myers. The judges, Octagon side, are Sal D'Amato, Brian Pusillo, and Chris Lee. Thanks for subscribing, Joseph Sudreth. Our referee inside the Octagon is Dan the Big Tan Mergliotta. This main event is sponsored by SB Nation. MMAmania.com for all of your mixed martial arts needs. What's up, Gabriel Collins? Now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the sold-out United Center in Chicago, Illinois. It's time! 5 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record of 13 wins, 2 losses. Stands 6 feet tall. Presenting the 2000 Olympic. Bruce Buffer talks too goddamn slow. All right, we're looking at Yoel Romero doing this. He's the #1 contender in the world. Presenting Yoel, the soldier of God, Romero. Yeah. Now introducing his opponent. This man is the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Robert the Reaper Whittaker. Oh, that was bad. Whittaker. Sorry, man. I fudged it up. That's why I'm not Bruce Buffer, I guess. One more subscriber and we're at 1,100. Let's get it. Let's get it popping. One more subscriber, my dudes. That's what Whittaker just did. 4,100. Yes. Thank you, Gabriel Collins. Bam. All right, we're in the center of the octagon. The Big Tan, Dan Mergliata's giving them the instructions. They did touch gloves. Yoel isn't not getting eye contact with Robert Whittaker, but Whittaker was trying to snag eye contact from Yoel Romero. Excuse me. All right, fight. Let's fight. And they touch gloves in the center of the octagon. Romero is in red trunks. They are both in the orthodox stances. Whittaker is bouncing. Yoel Romero is flat-footed. Robert Whittaker is stepping. He's doing a stomping, stepping side kick to the lead thigh of Yoel Romero. That's 4 in a row. Stepping side kick to the thigh of Romero from Whittaker. Another one. Another one. Robert Whittaker is targeting the lead leg of Yoel Romero. Whittaker is bouncing and he's moving back and forth, and Romero is basically standing flat-footed. We are in the center of the octagon. Whittaker has his hands low. His lead hand is on his thigh. His right hand is cocked. Romero has both of his hands right here. He's just kind of swaying and walking forward. Outside low kick landed for Whittaker, and a jab landed for Whittaker. Whittaker tried another stepping side kick to the thigh, but Romero slid out of the way of that attempt. Whittaker came in with a kind of level changing, a little bit lead left hook, blocked by Romero. Jab attempt by Whittaker. Couldn't find the range on it, didn't get the range. Stepping side kick to the thigh again lands for Whittaker. Lead left hook blocked. It was attempted by Whittaker. And now a left hook, right hook combination from Whittaker, both blocked by Romero. Romero's doing a good job blocking attacks with his hands right here. Romero with a left hook on Whittaker that landed pretty hard, but Whittaker ate it pretty well and moved forward. Whittaker moved forward with a jab and then a low chopping attack, but it was checked by Romero, and then Whittaker fell to the ground and got back to his feet. Romero is basically standing here like this, and he's just coming in powerful bursts. Stepping side kick to the thigh again landed for Whittaker on Romero. Whittaker came in with a jab. Again, Whittaker's holding his lead hand at his thigh, so when he jabs, he's bringing it from way down here to come up top. A back leg push kick to the thigh attempted by Whittaker, but evaded by Romero. Stepping side kick to the thigh lands for Whittaker. Then Whittaker comes in with a jab and then an overhand right that he went right behind, around the guard of Romero, but no damage. Romero was going to come in with an attack, but no dice. Jab from Whittaker, blocked by Romero with this defense that he's got going on. A right uppercut might have landed for Romero, but he's only attacking in these tiny little spurts. Jab for Whittaker, cut the guard of Romero. Left body kick landed for Romero. Whittaker went with a jab, jab, right high kick, but Romero ate it on the arms. That could still hurt somebody. I forgot to start the clock. Sorry, guys. Yoel went for a spinning back fist as Whittaker came in with a jab, but both of those attacks missed. Yoel is behind the double stripes, and Whittaker's coming in. He jab, jab, overhand right, none of it landed. A stepping side kick to the thigh from Whittaker was evaded. Again, same thing. Left kick to the body landed from Whittaker. Romero went with a front kick to the body, but just out of range was Whittaker. We are in the center of the octagon with 52 seconds to go in the round number one. Whittaker double jab through the guard of Romero, came with the right hand but missed. Romero's doing a really good job with this blocking. When Whittaker came in that time with the jab, when he's coming in with it, an elbow over the top landed for Romero. Outside low kick landed for Romero. He came in with a 1-2 that did not get the range, but then the chopping low kick at the end of that 1-2 chop landed for Romero. Romero is on the outside of the double stripes. We got 10 seconds to go in round number one. A right hook to the body lands for Whittaker. Left high kick from Romero was blocked by Whittaker on the arms. We're in the center of the octagon as round number one ends. Romero tried a spinning back fist as the horn sounded. Yeah, clear 10-8. The first round goes to Robert Whittaker. All right, let's listen in on the corners. Whittaker's corner says, deep breath. You felt the weight cut. He's looking for one big shot. Use your feints, use your spins. If he's got that guard, you got to come around a little. You got to come around a little. Yeah, he does. So Romero has his guard right here the whole time. And he's got some thick-ass arms. I got these skinny little noodle arms. But they show Kelvin Gastelum in the crowd because he's probably next to get a title shot. He's looking dapper. He's got a plaid suit on with a pocket square. Chris Weidman sitting next to Uriah Faber. Round two start. They touch gloves. We're in the center of the octagon, right on top of the monster logo. Whittaker went for a stepping side kick to the thigh, and he was met with a jab from Romero. Romero came in with a little attack there. He's just fighting in these super small bursts. Romero landed a stepping side kick to the thigh of Whittaker. Romero's got this like X guard going on now. He's got his right hand up close to his face, but he's got his left hand, his left like shoulder forward, and his left elbow kind of pushed out. Overhand right, barely missed from Whittaker. So Romero's got this different guard going on now. So in the first round, he was with this standard guard, hands up, but now he's got the left hand here and the right up. Joe Rogan thinks it's strange. Right kick to the body, landed for Romero. Stepping side kick to the thigh landed for Romero, and he paid for it with a jab to the face from Whittaker. Whittaker came in with a stepping side kick to the thigh too. A lot of stepping side kicks to the thigh here. Whittaker tried a double jab, but that guard of Romero warded it off. Romero's got his mouth open, and he's... Well, maybe that's... Right body kick landed for Whittaker. Jab missed from Whittaker. Jab missed from Romero. Or it was actually blocked by Whittaker. So we're in the very center of the octagon. Stepping in jab was blocked. The offensive attack was made by Whittaker, but Yoel Romero was defensively sound there. Front kick to the body landed from Whittaker. Romero went in for a little burst of attack, but Whittaker evaded it, backed away from it. Left high kick attempted from Whittaker was blocked by Romero. Then a push kick to the body landed on Romero. It was from Whittaker. A stepping side kick to the thigh landed for Whittaker. Total strikes attempted, 128 for Whittaker, 44 for Romero. As I say that, an outside low kick landed for Whittaker. Romero fakes with a jab to the thigh, but doesn't do anything with it. Comes with a lead left hook, and Whittaker ducked underneath of it. Knee to the body landed for Romero, and the left kick to the body landed for Whittaker. Whittaker keeps like wiping off his right sole of his foot on his left calf. I don't know what's going on there, but that's weird. Right high kick landed for Romero, but Yoel Romero's right eye is swelling shut right now. Yoel Romero's right eye is swollen almost shut. The jab from Whittaker is doing a lot of good work. Right body kick landed for Romero, but if you can't tell, Whittaker has control of this fight. Outside low kick landed for Romero, but Whittaker has control of the fight. He's mostly controlling the distance. He's obviously the more active fighter. Oh, right high kick landed for Whittaker. He did the jab, right high kick thing, but it did not phase Yoel Romero. Jeez. Romero has no neck, so maybe that's why, but geez Louise. Whittaker came in with a double jab, and he ate a left hook for his trouble. Another right high kick was attempted from Whittaker, but Yoel blocked that one. Whittaker tried an overhand right elbow, but it did not have the distance on it. Lead left hook landed for Romero. A right uppercut might have landed for Romero. Romero's pressing forward now for a second. We are clinched up in the center of the octagon. Yoel Romero had a right overhook, but Whittaker circled off to his right away from that position. Front kick from Romero missed. Left high kick missed from Romero. They met in the center for a second, and Romero went for a couple of uppercuts on Whittaker. Romero's clinching Whittaker up. He goes for a takedown. Not successful. Romero went for an inside low kick to a double leg attempt that Whittaker went right out of. As the round ends, we have Robert Whittaker with his back to the center of the octagon. He went for a jab and a stepping side kick to the thigh of Romero, and I think it's clear that it is 20-18 and still Robert Whittaker. Troy Barnes thinks that I'm not doing good enough by myself. Maybe he's right. Okay, between rounds here, we're listening to. Okay, so what happened? What made Romero's eye get swollen shut was there was a stepping in left hook from Whittaker that landed right on the orbital bone right here. So Romero might have a broken orbital bone. His eye is swollen up really, really bad. Joe Rogan says that they did a great job with the end swell on Romero's eye. push kick to the face landed from Whittaker on Romero. A right high kick from Whittaker was attempted, but Romero ducked right under it. Romero's kind of swinging wildly now. I think he's. Oh my God! A right hook from Romero, a wide right, dropped Robert Whittaker. Romero's chasing the finish now. He's running after Whittaker. They're clinched up and tight. Romero throws him to the ground, an uppercut. Romero has the back of Whittaker. He's hitting him with some elbows to the side of the head. Romero's in a north-south position against Robert Whittaker. He's elbowing him to the side of the head, Travis Brown style. Robert Whittaker was in on a takedown attempt, a Kimura attempt from Yoel Romero. Reverse the position now. Yoel Romero is pressing Robert Whittaker up against the fence in the blue corner, and the momentum is clearly on the side of Yoel Romero. He's going for a takedown attempt, but I think he should just space this out and go for the finish. But anyway, Yoel Romero has Robert Whittaker pressed up against the fence. He left hook, right uppercut, stepping in elbow. Whittaker tried to get him off with a push kick to the body, but Romero come in with a overhand right. Whittaker with a left elbow that might have hurt Yoel Romero. Whittaker is fighting off really well with these elbows right now to keep Romero from finishing him here. Yoel Romero is a left elbow to the face of Whittaker. Whittaker's got blood coming from his left nostril now, but it seems like Whittaker has his wits about him, and he's going to survive. I believe they're still clinched up, tied against the fence. They're over right on the Toyo tires. Blue corner. Romero is pressing Whittaker up against the fence. He's peppering the body a little bit with some right hands to the body. Another right hand to the body, another right hand to the body. Romero's ripping hooks to the body. Both sides there for a second. They go for a plum clinch. Whittaker landed a right elbow to the face of Romero to try to keep him off. But right now Romero seems to be actually, he might be taking a break here. He's just kind of pressing Robert Whittaker up against the fence. He's got one uppercut. Whittaker went for a spinning back elbow. Might have landed on Romero, but Romero didn't seem to mind it at all. Romero went for a body lock outside trip takedown, but Whittaker defended it. Now Whittaker has the 50-50 overhook, underhook with his hands clasped behind the back of Romero, but Romero's still pressing him up against the fence. He's going to reverse position, and now Whittaker is pressing Romero up against the fence, and he hit him with a knee to the body. Romero's looking to get... Now Romero got an underhook with the left hand, spun Whittaker, and now Whittaker's back is against the fence. And Yoel Romero is going for some uppercuts and some hooks on Whittaker to try to get this finish. Went for another takedown attempt, and Whittaker just warded it right off. We are separated now. Robert Whittaker backing up. A big left hook landed from Romero on Whittaker. They clinch up for a second, and Whittaker landed a right knee to the body of Romero. A left hand landed on Whittaker. Romero lead left hook landed on Whittaker, and he's still in it. He's still got his wits about him, and he's backing up. We're against the fence here, again against the Toyo tires, blue corner, and Romero is peppering hooks, uppercuts, and he's looking for the finish here. You can tell that Romero is losing gas. Right now, Whittaker is just truly running away from Yoel Romero, but Romero doesn't have the energy to take him down. Whittaker just landed a right high kick that would have probably knocked out any mortal man, but Yoel Romero just keeps walking forward. Whittaker is still running away from Yoel Romero, and Romero's coming after him like the Terminator, and Romero has Whittaker pressed up against the fence here. We're close to the blue corner for the United Center is what it says on the side. Metro PCS corner. Yoel Romero dropped Whittaker to the ground. He's hit him with a left hook to the face. We're back up, and we're kind of in that Colby Covington position where Yoel Romero is pressing Whittaker up against the fence. Whittaker gets an underhook and an overhook, that 50-50 position, clasped his hands, switched it around, and now has Yoel Romero pressed up against the fence, and I have to believe that Yoel Romero is going to be one gassed motherfucker after trying to finish Robert Whittaker for the better part of the last 4 minutes. Right now, Robert Whittaker has Yoel Romero pressed up against the fence. He's got Romero's right hip on the fence. He's got a left underhook, a right overhook, and he's pressing Romero up against the Metro PCS blue corner. And that's the round. Woo! Woo-hoo! That was a round, I tell you what. Oh, man. Round 3. A big right hook dropped Whittaker. Wow. Okay. Big jab landed up for Yoel that round. Like a leaping in shovel punch landed for Whittaker. And that right high kick that I said any mortal man would go to sleep from. Well, Whittaker landed it, and Romero just kept it coming. Whittaker looks... He's got his eyes about him in the corner here. He looks decent. Romero's not even trying to put water on himself to make the time between rounds longer so he can get his breath a little bit here. But here we are. We're headed into the championship rounds. Romero's eye, it looks the same as it did before. He can see out of it, but it's super swollen underneath. It's his right eye. They touch gloves, and we're started with round number 4. Romero's eye, yeah, he can still see out of it. Barely, but he can still see out of it. A stepping side kick to the thigh lands for Whittaker. We're in the center of the octagon here. Losing. Romero's standing really sideways now. Kind of got his shoulder and his elbow cocked to do some blocking here. And his right arm, he's kind of got an X guard going. But he's so tired, he's just kind of backing up. Left high kick from Whittaker was blocked by Romero on the arm. God, that would hurt so bad. Whittaker did the same thing. He slapped his left calf with his right foot. Again, I don't know why he keeps doing that. Yoel Romero is standing really flat-footed. Whittaker is just kind of gauging the distance here. He's putting his hand in his face quite a bit. Whittaker went for the left high kick again. Romero blocked it with his hand. Stepping in left jab landed for Whittaker. Wonder what Romero's up to here. He's just chilling, basically. Stepping side kick to the thigh landed for Whittaker. Lead leg front kick to the body landed to the nutsack of Whittaker. This is a big Whittaker hit Romero to the nutsack with a front kick to the cup. Lead leg front kick, and this could really help out Yoel Romero. Give him a little break here. Yep, clearly hit the cup. It shifted the cup. Romero looked at Dan Miragliotta. Dan called timeout. And if I were Romero, I would take the full 5 minutes that you get from a nut shot here. Or at least as much time as Big Dan Miragliotta would give me. If I were Yoel Romero, I would take it. John Anjos says, if you're Yoel Romero's corner, you're screaming, take your damn time, man. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me. We already surpassed our goal for tonight, but if we get more, my bosses will allow me to do this more in the future. And also thumb the video up if you appreciate what's happening here. If not, then thumb it down, and that's fine too. Yoel Romero is in his corner, it looks. He's telling Dan Miragliotta that he needs some time. He's tying his cup back up. His cup strings were loose in the front there. Maybe just his shorts. And, yeah, if I was Yoel Romero, I would be taking as much time as possible. Yoel Romero's taking some big, deep breaths. Dan Miragliotta said, okay, back up, back going. Okay. Front kick to the liver. Oh, left high kick from Whittaker was blocked by Romero. Romero has a little bit of energy now. He tried a double hook combination that was blocked by Whittaker. Whittaker did that thing where he tapped his left calf with his right foot again. 4, 5, 6 jabs from Whittaker were attempted. And Romero like grabbing him with his right paw. Another one. Joe Rogan is saying that Whittaker is not throwing his right hand, so he thinks that perhaps Whittaker injured his right hand, and he keeps fucking tapping his left calf with his right foot. Right now, Whittaker is the one backing up, and Romero is moving forward. Romero's got that goofy guard again. He's got this hand up here, and he's just kind of standing there in the very center of the octagon, and he hit Whittaker with a jab. He feinted with a couple of jabs. He's doing that a lot. He's feinting with that jab. And Whittaker actually landed a jab there. Whittaker backed up, push kick to the thigh, landed twice. 2 hooks for Romero. The right hook missed. The left hook seemed to land. We're in the center of the octagon. Romero just kind of grazed the cup of Whittaker, but Whittaker just keeps fighting, I guess. Probably a good idea. He doesn't want to give Romero any time to rest. Romero's pressing forward. Romero went for the jab to the body, landed. He went with a high kick, a high like lead left that missed. Whittaker ducked underneath of it. Right now, it seems that Romero is the more active fighter. We said that Whittaker wasn't throwing that right hand. He just jabbed right-handed Romero, and I think that it landed. I can't tell, it didn't land with a lot of severity, but how can you tell with how durable Yoel Romero is? Push kick to the thigh landed for Whittaker. Romero's going to need a big explosion here if he wants to win this 4th round. Couple of jabs land for Bobby Whittaker. Superman punch missed for Yoel Romero. I don't know why he would attempt that. It takes a lot of energy. Whittaker's moving to his right. We're in the center of the octagon. Stepping in right elbow was blocked from Romero, but Whittaker attempted it. That would have been nice. Jab to the body. He tried it again. He came in and really winged that right elbow, but it went right past Yoel Romero. Romero landed a jab. Jab landed for both guys. They exchanged jabs there. A double jab. The second one landed for Whittaker. We're in the very center of the octagon. A jab landed for Whittaker. Went with a push kick to the body. Ooh, a big left and a right after it landed for Romero. And had Whittaker backed up a little bit, but then he's coming right back with a... Oh! Romero made Whittaker get on stanky legs again. Whittaker's on stanky legs, and Romero's pressing forward. A right hand has him on stanky legs. Romero's moving forward, and Whittaker's moving backward, and Whittaker does not have his legs under him. He's on sea legs a little bit. Left hand landed for Romero. Oh my gosh. I mean, most of the action in that round was done by Robert Whittaker, but Romero hurt Whittaker toward the end of that round there. I want to see the stats. I want to see the stats on that round. Okay. Yeah, Robert Whittaker landed 40, Romero 15. Not enough to give Romero the round. Yeah, I think that round 4 was probably Whittaker. I want to give it to Romero, but I think it was probably Whittaker. Oops, wrong one. I don't know, man. At the very end, Romero made Whittaker do the stanky leg, so I almost want to give him the round. It was a left over the top and a right straight behind it that made Whittaker do the stanky leg. Okay, set the clock back before I forget. Thanks, guys. 5th and final round. They do double knuckles, and here we go. We're off to the start. Big stepping side kick to the thigh of... So Whittaker hit Romero with a big stepping side kick to the thigh. Romero's got to empty it all here, Oh, big right hand landed for Romero. It might have hurt Whittaker again. He's moving forward. Whittaker seems to be kind of stanky legging it, and he keeps touching his fucking left calf with his right foot. Like the sole of his foot. Super strange. Spinning back kick to the body landed for Romero. I mean, that's a high output technique that took a lot of energy. I don't know why he would attempt that. Anyway, we're in the center of the octagon. Yoel Romero attempted a spinning back fist, but Whittaker ducked under it. Left high kick from Whittaker, blocked by Romero. Romero's pressing forward. He eats 2 jabs for his effort from Whittaker. We're in the very center of the octagon right now. Romero was going to try a flying knee, but a stepping sidekick to the thigh from Whittaker warded off that attempt. These jabs and push kicks or stepping sidekicks to the thigh from Whittaker are doing really good things. Like, that was a phenomenal game plan to do that. Romero's pressing forward. A big jab landed on the face of Whittaker, and Romero's just pressing forward. He eats a sidekick to the thigh. Romero barely missed on a winding up right hand. Outside low kick for Romero lands. A left hook landed from... Yoel Romero has Robert Whittaker really hurt. It was a left hook that put him down, and Whittaker is eating a lot of ground and pound. Whittaker has a leg of Romero. Romero's getting him with a lot of ground and pound. Dan Miragliotta warned Yoel Romero about the elbows to the back of the head, and Yoel Romero right now is in north-south position on Robert Whittaker. Whittaker is in on a single leg. He's going to look to take Romero down. He's on his hands and knees, though, but he's just got his arms wrapped around the right leg of Yoel Romero, and Romero is peppering him with body shots and head shots from that position, like north-south. I don't know how Whittaker's surviving, really. He's eating a lot of hooks to the head. He's in on this single leg attempt. He drives Yoel Romero to the fence, and he's in on this takedown attempt. Romero sprawls really well. Whittaker no longer has his hands clasped behind the leg of Romero. Romero's sprawling really well. He's hitting with some left elbows and some left punches to the head, the side of the head, in this north-south position. Whittaker continues to drive forward. Romero knees him to the face as he gets up, a right hand over the top to Whittaker's face. Romero has Whittaker pressed up against the fence. He's going to attempt a takedown attempt. Now Romero has the back of Whittaker, and he's hitting him with left hooks. Whittaker gets back to his feet. Romero kicks the foot out from under him. We're against the Metro PCS corner like we've been a lot of times tonight. Whittaker has his right knee down and his left foot on the ground, so but Romero is on his back. He's got his hands clasped around his waist. He's doing the leg ride position like in wrestling. Romero's trying to get back to his feet, but now Romero has 2-on-1 on Whittaker's right arm, and Whittaker is trying to stand up, but Romero needs a finish. We've got 1:30 to go in this fight, and Romero needs a finish. Right now, he's not going to get it from this position. We're staying right here. Whittaker's got his right knee on the ground. His left base of his foot, sole of his foot is on the ground now. Whittaker stood up. He's got his left hand over the side of the cage, and Romero has his back. Romero kicked the leg out from under him again, but Romero has his back. Whittaker back to his feet. Whittaker is facing the fence with Romero on his back. Romero has 2-on-1 on Whittaker's right arm, and Whittaker is trying to get that off. Dan Miragliotta says, "Let's work. We got to get this work done, brothers." Romero needs to separate and just go fucking ham. Dan Miragliotta saying, "Work, guys." Romero has his hands clasped around the waist of Robert Whittaker. Dan Miragliotta says separate. We got 40 seconds to go in this fight, and Yoel Romero needs something huge to happen in a half a minute here. Whittaker has his wits back about him. He's touching his calves with his fucking soles of his feet. I don't know why he does that. Stepping sidekick to the thigh from Whittaker landed on Romero. Romero bounces. He needs a finish. Romero comes in with an attack, but Romero was going to try a wheel kick, but a stepping side kick to the thigh, again, like knocked Yoel Romero down, and that's the final bell. Well, whoops. I think we're going to have a 48-47 unanimous decision victory for Robert Whittaker, unless you think that a judge is going to give the fourth round to Yoel Romero for the damage that he did to Whittaker at the end of that fourth round. But I don't know. I scored it 3-2 for and still, Robert Whittaker. Thank you for whoever just subscribed. I'm sorry. So they're just showing us highlights from the fight. A left over the top, right straight from Romero that hurt Whittaker. They're showing us a lot of the right high kicks that landed on the side of the dome of Romero from Whittaker, but didn't do any damage to Romero. A jumping in left hook dropped Whittaker in the 5th round. What were the stats in that 5th round? Could we see a draw? Could we see a draw? The 5th round stats, 1 knockdown and 55 total strikes for Romero, 18 total strikes for Whittaker, 44 significant strikes landed for Romero and 3 takedowns. You could, I don't know, you could argue that you could give a 10-8 round 5 in favor of Yoel Romero. Romero's crying. Thank you, Firestarter, for subscribing. All right, now we go to the judges' scorecards for the decision. Saldi Amato says 4-3. So 1 judge for Romero, 1 judge for Whittaker. Robert Whittaker via split decision. And still Robert Whittaker. Split decision. 48-47, 48-7-48, 48-47. Joe Rogan says, very, very close fight. What happened to your hand? Robert Whittaker says he busted his hand. He cannot feel it up to here. Joe Rogan says it was a very, very close fight. Obviously split decision. When you were knocked down in those 2 rounds and hurt badly. Robert Whittaker says that Yoel Romero, fuck, hits like a truck. I'll tell you that much. Whittaker says in the 4th and 5th he was just trying to survive. Joe Rogan says at the end of the fight, how did you think it was going to go? Whittaker says he doesn't know, it could have gone either way. It's a close fight. He dropped me in the 4th and 5th. Joe Rogan asked Whittaker if he wants a rubber match with Yoel Romero, and he says, ha ha ha, I got to ask my coaches. All right, now Joe Rogan is interviewing Yoel Romero. Okay, so Yoel wants to hug Whittaker. Yoel kissed Whittaker's chest, and Yoel Romero tells Robert Whittaker it was his pleasure for the fight. Joe Rogan says a lot of people thought Romero was going to get the decision. What did you think at the end of the fight? Yoel Romero says, hey, Chicago! Thank you so much for coming tonight. The most important thing is that we stay together, no matter what happens. Thank you for you coming tonight. Romero says he doesn't know what he wants to say in English. He's going to say it in Spanish. He's saying stuff in Spanish. He seems to be crying. Yoel Romero says that in his humble opinion, he thinks he won tonight, and that the commission fucked him over for not letting him cut that last 0.2 pounds. He says, that's what I think, that's my humble opinion. God bless you, United States and Chicago too. Would you be open for a third fight with Robert Whittaker, says Joe. Yoel Romero says, doesn't matter, 10 times rematch with him, my pleasure. So that's it. I think that, well, John Anik says that he thinks it should have been a draw because there should have been a 10-8 in the 5th round for Yoel Romero. I mean, I guess. But anyway, that's the entire show, guys. Again, please subscribe to the channel. It would mean so much to me. You can follow me on Twitter at FlyingBrianJ. Follow me on Facebook at FlyingBrianShow. Read MMA Mania for all of your mixed martial arts needs. I got to take a brief break, take a piss, really. Get some water in my throat, and I'm going to come back and do a post-fight show where we will recap all of the action from UFC 225 right here on the MMA Mania YouTube channel. But I'm going to take a brief break, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back for that post-fight show. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I appreciate all the thumbs up, all the positive things that you've said to me. Justin Rushensky, I appreciate you. And you know, I got a lot of love for all of you guys. Anyway, I'll see you guys really soon. Peace be with you. Namaste.